Here we go now.
Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Shamea. Hey, Danny. Danny Wade's in the building. Nicole's in the building. Zelene's in the building. Foxy's in the building. North Carolina's in the building. Kendra says, we see and hear you can't. You mean you see and hear me? What do you mean you see me here? I wasn't even live yet. You heard me behind the scenes? You heard me singing along? What's going on? Jackson, Mississippi. You know, I'd like to go to Mississippi one day. I've never been to Mississippi. I'd like to go to Alabama. I know you're probably like, why? But just because, you know, good eating. Look, good eating, you know, country life. I like going to the country. You know, I've been to Tennessee a few times. I like that. I don't like it full time in regards to the lifestyle, but I don't mind it like for a vacation. It's been a while since I've gone to the country for a vacation and going to like the local Cracker Barrel. It's always about the food, right? It's always about the food. Guys, welcome to Tuesday Takeover, where we cover a variety of pop culture news, reality TV, and reality TV news as well. Be sure to like today's video if you haven't already. And if you're listening to the podcast version of this, be sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Shout out to our Club KEMPIRE baddies on Apple Podcasts. Shout out to our Patreon baddies. Don't forget, guys, we have launched our Patreon. Join today. There is a link available in the description or via the live chat. So shout out to all of you. Memphis, what's going on, Memphis? Y'all told me I can't come to Memphis. Remember? A couple years ago, y'all said, no, you can't come to Memphis. So I came to Nashville. And I met Miss Esquire in Nashville. I met a bunch of people. Dalen was in Nashville. I met a bunch of people that came to the Nashville live show that we did at the City Winery. Music Soul Child was performing during that show. Well, not at my show, but he was at at the same venue, and you could hear his music as I was giving my show. I said, I guess we could all just listen to Music Soul Child. And I'm going half crazy. Sorry. All right. You didn't come here to hear me sing, did you? Or maybe you did. Maybe you did. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday. What is your good news today? I want to hear it. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let me know your good news. I got some good news. Wait, let me think. Happy, healthy. Okay. Had a good Pilates session. The weather is really, really good. No rain in sight. Okay. Right. Oh, what's going on, Rochelle? Rochelle's watching from Tallahassee. Miss N. Kesey says, I'm at the Yankee Stadium still wait. No. Mrs. N. Kesey. We will talk about the Jay-Z 30 and the fiasco that happened on Sunday night. It's because New Yorkers, they're like, I gotta be in there. I gotta be in there, ticket or no ticket. Okay, Tommie Lee. You saw Tommie Lee, the reality TV star, not the rocker, got arrested for sneaking into a World Cup game. Apparently, it's like they take it real serious. If you do that, you get arrested. I mean, look, she's probably been arrested for much worse. Let's be honest. So when I saw that she was arrested, I was like, what for? And then they said she snuck into a FIFA game. And I said, well, I mean, like, there's a lot of other things she could have been arrested for that I would have assumed. I'm like, oh. And did anyone else take like a sigh of relief? Oh, it wasn't for drugs. Oh, it wasn't for beating up on someone. Oh, it wasn't for, a Ponzi scheme. You snuck into a soccer game. But they take it serious. She got arrested. I mean, I'm not sneaking into games, but okay, Tommie Lee. She too grown for that though, right? At this particular point, if they had arrested her for sneaking into the Jay-Z 30 over the weekend, then I probably would have been like, well, okay. But her sneaking into, what game was she sneaking into? It was the Norway versus, what was it? Norway versus England, right? Was it Norway versus, I can't even keep up. I don't remember now. All the games are melting together. But I did write down, oh no, it was Norway versus England. Shout out to, yeah, come on, England. I'm the only person on England I'm rooting for is the Jude Bellingham. That's the only person I'm rooting for on England's team. Okay. And he had the 2 goals that day. And a lot of people were like, Norway could win this. But England won. Okay. Here's the thing. I was watching Argentina versus, who were they playing again? I can't remember any of the games now. Argentina Switzerland. At first, I was going to not root for either one because, whatever. But then I looked at Switzerland's team. I said, they're very black. Room for Switzerland. They lost, though. They lost pretty badly, too. But they put up a good fight. I'm for those that are just joining us and wonder, what the hell are we talking about? We're talking about the World Cup. The World Cup is happening here in the United States right now. And it's been an emotional roller coaster of like, okay, we have some of these African countries that could go far. And then, yeah. So who are we rooting for now? Because a lot of these European teams are very black and brown when it comes to the players. I don't know when it comes to the treatment of these players. It's a whole other conversation. But anyway, FIFA been acting up anyway. That's a whole other conversation. We won't even get into that. Easter, is that your real name? I think that's such a cute name and a cute picture. Easter says, KEMPIRE, there is seriously something wrong with Tommie, though. If she really thinks she can just walk in there. Well, did she just walk in there? I'm not surprised that she did that, Tommie Lee. She wasn't even on my list of things to talk about today. We were supposed to be talking about our good news, but I'm okay with this. Hey, Melissa, watching on Facebook. Easter says, KEMPIRE, there is seriously something wrong with Tommie, though. If she really thinks she can just walk in there. Have you met her? Have you met her? I am not surprised she thought that she could just walk in to this place and just like, yeah, I'm in here. Yeah, I don't got my ticket. I'm in here. I want to see this Norway versus England. Go England. That's exactly how she sounds. Okay. But anyway, I will be watching the game. I probably will be late because, Tuesday Takeover usually runs long, but there is a game today, Spain versus France. And I have not watched any of the French play. I'm so surprised. I guess maybe the time that they played, I just been busy, but we're getting closer to the end. We're getting really, really close to the end. The Nin, something says, what did Tommie do? Tommie snuck into a FIFA game and got arrested for it. But again, her good news is my good news for her is that I thought it would be for much worse than her sneaking into a FIFA game. Just saying, I would have thought something completely different. I don't know how much time she's facing. I don't think she's facing that much time for sneaking into the FIFA game. I'm surprised she got arrested for it. But she did. She got arrested for it. Tommie Lee, reality star. For those that don't, we're not talking about The Rocker. Okay, that's the only one I really recognize is The Rocker. But yeah, okay, Tommie Lee. Oh, well, Cece says Tommie wants access to the footballers. Don't we all, though? If anything, that's a smart move. Get access to the football players. Now, that's the real money. See, y'all don't know about that. Those footballers are not only good looking, but they have the coin. Okay? Right? Y'all busy trying to deal with the basketball players and the football players, American football. But these other players? Okay, not Caroline Stanberry's husband. He wasn't even a professional. Remember, we went through this when we talked about Real Housewives of Dubai. I know. Where are we going? Come back. KEMPIRE, come back. Come back. I'm back. Okay, let's not even go in there. The Girls Club says, KEMPIRE being all into the sports is my new favorite thing. Me too. Well, okay. Don't get me here lying. Here, tell the truth and shame the devil. Okay. Wait, where's my thunderclaps? Hold on, y'all. Wait.
Lies, the lies.
But anytime there's finals of things, like when the finals of basketball or the finals of the World Cup, I get into it. I think I'm going to get into the U.S. Open, too. I might actually even go to the U.S. Open. I would like to see Serena play, but then I think to myself, everybody wants to see Serena play. So there's going to be a line probably just to get into the court. So now I'm like, look, I'll just have to watch it from my 70-something inch screen TV. Okay. All right. April says, bring it back to center, KEMPIRE. And we're back. What is your good news today? This is our Tuesday takeover. We have a lot to get into today. A lot when it comes to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yes, we recapped it yesterday. I even went live on my Patreon and talked more about the breaking news that came out from Atlanta. Porsha woke up and chose violence yesterday. Did you guys see that? Has Shamea responded? I meant to go look. See, this is why Tuesday takeover becomes such a huge undertaking. Did Shamea respond? Look, Shamea don't have me blocked, so I can go to her Instagram. Let me see. I just want to queue it up just for later. Hey, Shamea. Did she respond? Let me see. No, she hasn't responded. We got a lot to talk about with that. A lot to unpack with that. I have a lot of information to unpack. And I'm not taking a side. And all of you guys I see on X, all of you guys have taken a side. You're like, Porsha been terrible. She never been a good friend. Or Shamea always been a terrible friend. She's just as bad. I'm not taking a side. Or, Miss Diane is this, or Mama Morton is that. I am not taking a side because we literally have no idea what happened between these women. And when I say women, I'm talking about everyone, every generation. We have no idea. So I'm not taking a strong side. I'm just sharing my reaction to the information that we have. But we are team us over here. I'm not team Shamea. I'm not team Porsha. I'm not even team Pilar or team Shiloh. I'm sorry, girls. I'm not team any one of them because I have no idea either side on who did what. If we're supposed to rely on an edited reality show or Porsha and Shamea, I'm out. I'm out of the group chat. I'm going to talk about it though, and we'll talk about that in a moment. All right, let me get into my notes. What's my good news today? My good news, first of all, happy and healthy. I'm very glad for that. All right, very happy and healthy. What else? What else can I be grateful for? There's just so much more that we could be grateful for. I'm grateful for the air conditioning in the studio. It might be loud. Y'all will have to deal with it. Y'all not going to have me pass out here in the studio. I had to turn it on. I say, it's loud as hell. I don't know why, because my other one is not this loud. But I have not figured it out what it is. But you guys can hear me clearly, right? Good. All right. But it's cool in here. All right. Paula says Team Miss Diane and Team Morton. You team both of them, but you're not Team Porsha or Shamea. Okay, Paula. Way of Key says, I'm Team Ashley. Which Ashley? Which Ashley? Are we talking about Ashley, the neighbor? Well, I got to give you an update on that because there's more about that because everyone's saying that Angela is vindicated. We'll get to that in a second. Coco says, I'm Team Gerald and the money. Wow. Wow, Coco. It's like that? Wow. But I get it. I'm worried for Shamea, though. I will get to it because I have so many thoughts. All right. So we got the World Cup happening. I want to know what your good news is. All right. Powerful says, I am grateful to see another day. Okay. We will get to the Shamea and the Porsha of it all. That will be probably like one of our last topics. All right. Oh, here we go. Buckle on up. Y'all thought the villain era was over. Travel and Trails Nature says, KEMPIRE, stop. You know you are team anyone up against Porsha. Y'all need to pick one. I'm either on X, I'm so far up Porsha's booty. On here, y'all saying that I'm anyone that's team against Porsha. Travel and Trails, you must not be here because the way that I have gone in on Shamea, But you know what? I need to stop addressing people like you with faceless accounts that come into the chat and have nothing of value to say, because clearly you do not watch the content. But let me show you the attention your mother never showed you, okay? Because that's what it is. You came in here to be contrary because you don't get attention at home. Your man, your woman, your whatever, your family do not give you attention. So let me give you a little attention because you got my attention right now. That's it. That's all you're gonna get. Sad, pitiful human being. Goodbye. Like, you can't win. You can't win. Okay. Cindy says, Team KEMPIRE. I'll take it. Okay. And Mara says, as KEMPIRE says, we don't know these people. And I see so many people with strong opinions, especially on social media when it comes to this Porsha and Shamea of it all. And we have no idea when it comes to either side of the situation. We can only go by what they've said. You know, people are pulling out receipts from what other people have said and what things, you know, what was said on the reality show. But we really can't pick a side. Monique says, I came in at the right moment. You're such a little troublemaker. Okay. Melly says, Team Kemp and the villain. I know that's right. Daphne says, I'm team staying healthy. Amen. Amen. Jack says, goodbye, Kyle. All right. Let's move on. You know, someone wanted a little attention they don't get at home. All right. Dana says, I'm thankful for another day. Me too. I'm thankful. You know, I'm thankful for the summer. You know, we here, at least on the East Coast and in New York, we had a very bad winter. Not bad. I don't want to say bad. It was just a very harsh winter. It was a lot of snow, a lot of cold days. So we're glad to be outside. We are still celebrating the Knicks. We're still celebrating the fact that the World Cup is here in New York, but in the Americas as well. It's been a good summer. It's been a hot summer, but it's been a good summer, right? All right. I just realized Ariana Grande had some concerts at Barclays. Should I go? I don't know. Like, I love Ariana, but I'm like, do I want to see Ariana live? I don't know. She has a few shows this week. Should I go? I might decide last minute to go. I don't know. I like her, but here we are. Hey, Janelle. Janelle says, I'm team drinking my water and minding my business. Stay hydrated, y'all. That's true. I have water in here, but I may have to get some more. All right. Let's go. Let's get into some other hot topics that I want to talk about. Let me get into some Bravo hot topics. And I'm not talking about the Shamea or the Porsha of it all. We'll get to them in a second. All right. JoEllen from Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Okay, JoEllen. Let me see do I have a picture of JoEllen? Here we go. This is JoEllen, because I know some of you are like, who's JoEllen? I still don't know who these people are. So she's been under fire for some of the tweets that she's liked on social media. You know, a lot of people liked JoEllen this season. I told you by the end of the reunion, I was like, JoEllen, I get it. They said that you were a liar. I get it. You were trying to help Rula out. But I also told you mid-season, just let it go. Let it go. Rula likes being delusional. She likes being with that man. Fine. Well, you know, despite her having a lot of people love her this season, now people are like, they don't want her back. And now people are speculating that maybe she's fired ahead of this new season. I believe they're going to start filming this next season. Sidebar, Real Housewives of New Jersey, they went to South Korea. The budget is budgeting over there at Bravo. First of all, last night I posted on Twitter that the preview for Real Housewives of Atlanta, they are actually playing K. Michelle's song, VSOP, you know, her first single. And they also played Drew's song, You Must Be Deluded. They played that song. I was like, oh, let me find out that they got the budget to play, you know, to clear the songs. So we get a little bit of that next week. And now Real Housewives of New Jersey went to South Korea? All right. And didn't Real Housewives of Orange County just go to Japan? Right? They went to Japan, right? So New Jersey's over there in South Korea. All right. The budget is long. I love that for them. All right. I look forward to Real Housewives of New Jersey coming back, especially because they have some new blood. All right. And that whole Melania situation. Melania? Look, if you followed Melania since she was a little girl, you're not surprised that Melania might be getting into a little trouble. And word on the street, Gabriella was the one that called the police on Melania. And you know Gabriella's the quiet one, the quiet, smart one. Well, apparently she's the one who called the police on Melania because Melania allegedly was out of control. I believe this is going to be a storyline. It has to be. It's happening literally in the middle of filming. So Melania took to social media. I know I've digressed. Melania took to social media basically addressing the situation, but she was addressing the fake AI photo of her mugshot. She's like, that's not me. I'm like, okay. I'm not surprised that Melania got into some trouble. I'm guessing we will find out more about what triggered all this. But if Gabriella called the police on you, I'm Team Gabriella. I'm usually Team no one, but I'm Team Gabriella because Gabriella minds her business. She moisturizes, minds her business, and go to school and gets her education. She's never been a problem. Melania has been a problem since she was a little girl. So I'm not surprised at her big age of 20-something that she is a problem. Okay. All right. I've digressed. Back to JoEllen from Real Housewives of Rhode Island. So shout out to our friends over at Reality Blurb. This is their exclusive because you know what we do here. We cite our sources. So shout out to Reality Blurb, Matt Richards, who wrote this article. Real Housewives of Rhode Island star JoEllen Fired has been under fire after it was recently reported that she liked controversial and transphobic social media posts Donald Trump Jr. shared. Specifically, screenshots shared revealed that JoEllen had, quote, liked a meme shared by the president's son in which it was stated that veterans only get 1 day of honor while Pride was celebrated for a, quote, whole month. She also liked another post in which Don Jr. described people promoting Queers for Palestine as, quote, so stupid it literally hurts. The screenshots were shared on Reddit on July 8th. In yet another meme he shared, it claimed that Dylan Mulvaney was giving the same vibe as Jim Carrey dressed as a woman in pigtails and a bikini top in Dumb and Dumber. Yet another post said that people who used the they, them pronouns were, quote, ugly and had, quote, no personality or skills. This is according to liked posts from JoEllen from Real Housewives of Rhode Island. All right. The reality star also liked posts that made fun of the concept of some men getting, quote, periods. Quote, very practical knowledge being taught, Don Jr. captioned one post. Another quote, having a period is not a feminine thing and people of all genders menstruate, including non-binary people, agender people, and even plenty of men. Another post JoEllen liked read. So she can't even say that this was by accident. Quote, menstruation doesn't change anything about your gender. It's just a thing that some bodies do. While JoEllen wasn't the only one of her cast members to engage with controversial posts, prior to these even coming out, there had been rumblings that she was potentially on the chopping block. Before the post surfaced, a source spoke to Reality Blurb exclusively to insist that she would be back. Here's the thing. There's so many problematic people that are still working with Bravo. I already knew that this story in regards to her being fired was not true. You also would be surprised at the top, and I'm not talking about Andy Cohen because Andy Cohen is one of the people at the top. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking above him. A lot of these MAGA folks are in spaces that you don't realize. People that aren't in your front view, like Andy Cohen. So shout out to NBC Universal. So don't be surprised. The people at the top probably agree with these liked posts. Okay? Exactly. Hold on. Where's my mouse? There we go. Iona? Is that how you pronounce it? Iona? She says, free Palestine all day, every day. Just saying. Shout out to Norway. I did see an article where Norway donated proceeds from their preliminary games against Israel for the World Cup to was it Doctors Without Borders that fund aid in Palestine. So shout out to Norway for that. So they said, okay, before the post surfaced, a source spoke to Reality Blurb exclusively to insist that she would be back. Although rumors popped up on the internet JoEllen Fired may not be coming back and was potentially on the chopping block, that is categorically false. they shared at the time. Every single cast member was invited back, including Liz McGraw, who chose to leave on her own accord. JoEllen will absolutely be back on the show for its second season, they added. The show was massive. It was a massive hit for Bravo, and they are not trying to mess with what works. After the post surfaced, they provided insight into if it could change things regarding her status on the show. They said it's doubtful they will end up letting her go because of this, they shared. But of course, you never know with Bravo. Another insider echoed similar sentiments, insisting there's, quote, no way JoEllen will be fired just because these posts have surfaced. Taping for the second season of the show is currently underway, so it seems inevitable that we will see these posts discussed on it. I also saw that Rosie, people have claimed that Rosie was MAGA. Well, she came out and said, no, I am not MAGA. Let me show you what her post said. Let me bring this up. Hold on, y'all. So, but here's the thing. I already saw, even before the season started, that they were talking about Rosie. And, I think it was Sutton Stroller on X had highlighted some of the women that donated to certain political parties. And they had already said that Rosie had donated multiple times to the Democratic Party. So I was like, I don't think Rosie is MAGA, but she wanted to make it very clear on her social media. Rosie said on her Instagram story, and for those that don't know who Rosie is, let me show you, because I know people are still struggling with this cast. Rosie said on her social media, on her Instagram story, I've never voted for Trump. Those screenshots are fake. Have a nice day. All right, that's according to Rosie. She said, I'd never voted for Trump. Very particular. I'm still being like, you didn't vote for Trump, but did you vote for who's the Republican candidate in your district? Just asking. Okay. Funky says, I love Rosie. She definitely became a favorite on the cast for a lot of people by the end of the season. All right. So that's the update. In regards to whether or not JoEllen will be returning, looks like JoEllen still will be returning, and they might make it a storyline about the posts that she liked, the transphobic posts that she liked, and controversial posts that she liked. Okay. All right. Let's move on from there. All right, guys, you're just joining us. Don't forget to like today's videos, an easy free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels today. Today is brought to you by our friends over at RHOA. This episode is sponsored by RHOA. Let's bust a myth real quick. Everyone assumes that GLP-1s cost an arm and a leg. That assumption alone stops people from even starting. I've heard it from friends that wanted to take advantage of our code recently. But it's not true. There's a more affordable way than you think. RHOA has the lowest cost options out there, insurance or cash. Their insurance checker is free. Submit your card, skip the hold music, skip the confusing phone calls, and in a few days, you get a full report on what's covered. No coverage? No problem. RHOA still has lower cost, FDA-approved, cash pay, GLP-1 options, pills included, shipped straight to your door. If I needed this is the exact option that I would use. Go to RHOA.co/KEMPIRE to see if you qualify. That's RHO.co/KEMPIRE. Go to RHOA.co/safety for box warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. Thanks, RHOA. And we're back. All right. Again, more information on RHOA and our sponsors will be available in the description. Welcome back to our Tuesday Takeover, where we cover a variety of reality television and reality TV news and pop culture news. So we have a few pop culture stories that I want to overview as well. But reminder, guys, we are still raising money. I know we did not reach our goal of $10,000 in Pride Month. Very homophobic. I'm being facetious, but fine. But no, we are still raising money. So if you see any of our latest videos, you still have an opportunity. And until we reach our goal, I have pledged that we will definitely reach our goal, no matter how long it takes. So let's not take too long. We're almost at $3,000, but that's not even half of our goal. Our goal is $10,000. 100% of your donation goes to the LGBT Center here in New York City. I've been forgetting to remind you guys, but they're still available on all of our videos. It will be available on the replay of this. If you're watching the replay, please donate what you can or share our videos so other people you know that have it can donate as well. Okay. Again, 100% of your donation goes to the organization. I feel like that, especially after talking about the transphobia of what JoEllen was liking, I definitely think community centers like the LGBT Center is so important, especially because this administration has been targeting the trans community since they were elected. So let's help support the continued hard work of the LGBT Center here in New York City again. All right. Thank you to everyone that's already donated. We appreciate your support as well. You know, Miss Melon Badger says, Kemp, you're going to start shaming people. I donated, child. I am going to have to start shaming people, but I don't feel like we need to when it comes to our community. We already have over almost 1,300 of you watching on multiple platforms. If $1, if everyone donated $1, that already would bring us closer to the halfway mark. Just saying. All right. Let's get back to some stories. All right. Dorit is back in the headlines. Right now, they're not filming the new season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It looks like they're taking a little bit of a break. Word on the street, they're going to start filming at the end of the summer. There's been all kinds of rumors. Kyle's not coming back. Dorit's not coming back. This person's not coming back. Crystal Minkoff is possibly coming in as a friend. The last I heard, and this was a few weeks ago, Crystal was not. I've heard some other things, Crystal. I know you watch. I've heard some other things, Crystal. She's still in the Bravo universe. She will be on Ultimate Girls Trip. She's making an appearance on Ultimate Girls Trip. Sidebar, speaking of Ultimate Girls Trip, did you guys see the 30-second little trailer? I'm going to say this. I'm excited to see Nene return, and that probably will be the best episode. But the trailers that I've seen so far, and again, these are just trailers, I'm not enticed. Not by this cast, the principal cast. I think everyone else that will be a part, that will be making appearances, will make it better. But the principal cast, I'm not enticed by them at all. And even the little glimmers that we see of them interacting, I'm like, this is not enticing at all. But anyway, we shall see. I will be talking about it. I am going to recap Real Housewives of London because that's coming to Peacock. So you guys have been asking me to talk about it. I watched it when I was in Europe in the fall. So I will recap it here. So stay tuned for those recaps. I am not recapping Real Housewives of Orange County yet. If things change, I will. I will say this, though. I did watch the premiere episode and it was much of the same. I don't care about a beef between Heather Dubrow and Tamra. It feels very performative and pre-produced. The return of Vicky has been just okay. The newbie that came in was just okay, but it was, her first scene. I wasn't enticed by that first episode. I will say Gina looks great. She got an upgrade. She's making money. She's engaged. Fine. Not enticed. I don't know what they were thinking for this season 20. It's supposed to be a pinnacle year. And yes, they're going to be bringing back a lot of new people. Not new people, but people from the past of Orange County. Still not enticed at all. But I'm not ruling out that I will recap it. I've been recapping OC the last couple of seasons, but as you know, OC has never really been my show. It's never been my city. I haven't watched it chapter and verse like a lot of people. So I much rather, if we can, talk about Real Housewives of London. Stay tuned. I actually met one of the women from Real Housewives of London during BravoCon, not the last one, the previous one. I met her from back then. She's Jamaican. Karen? Very sweet woman. All right. Moving on, back to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So there's a breaking story from this morning in regards to Dorit, aka Porit, and it's not looking good. So according to TMZ, Dorit Kemsley's estranged husband, PK Kemsley, even though the K is Kemsley, but whatever, PK, claims that Dorit's off on a European vacation with no return date. Excuse me. Remember, he's already accused her of spending nearly $1 million on herself in a short span of time. They've also been facing foreclosure. Recently, I feel like the foreclosure now is in the distant past, like they paid their debts or whatever. Not debts. I'm sure they didn't pay all that off. But now it's not going to be auctioned. Because remember, it was like auction watch for this home. Because every week, they've delayed the auction. They delayed the auction. Well, now I feel like it's not delayed anymore. They brought it up to date, but still. Okay. So according to PK, Dorit's off on a European vacation with no return date, refusing to work on their divorce. despite their $1 million mansion being close to foreclosure. Oh, I guess apparently it's still okay. PK filed new legal docs obtained by TMZ, slamming the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star as he attempts to convince a judge in their divorce to give him sole control of the sale of their 6-bedroom, 10-bathroom Los Angeles estate, which is reportedly worth around $8 million. It's worth $8 million, but the amount of different mortgages on this property, OMG, it's a mess. Ghetto. Okay. As TMZ first reported, PK claims that he moved out of the home after the split with Dorit. He said that he continued contributing to bills, but Dorit failed to make mortgage payments despite pulling in massive RHOBH checks. So she's the reason why it's on foreclosure, despite her saying, "Oh, I thought PK was going to be paying the mortgage." PK claimed that Dorit spent over $1 million on travel and luxury clothes. In his filing, PK claims that the home is once again close to being sold off at a foreclosure auction. Oh, I thought look, I must have been reading fake news. Because I thought it was, fine now. Or maybe they just delayed it. So he says that he has tried to resolve this matter for months, but Dorit is making things hard. He claims that she has a pattern of, quote, non-cooperation and, quote, broken promises. PK claims that he recently put up $300,000 of his own funds to pay. Oh, so this is what I read. Okay, so that's why it's not currently about to be auctioned off. So he claims that he recently put up $300,000 of his own funds to pay mortgage arrears to prevent foreclosure after Dorit agreed she would sign a deal to reimburse him from any sale of the home. In his filing, he said that the home may be put up for auction by the lender within weeks, unless Dorit goes through with listing the home immediately. So $300,000 is nothing compared to how much they actually owe when it comes to the mortgage. I forgot how much it was, but I feel like it was close to $1 million or more. I can't remember. I can't remember all the stories, y'all. Okay? PK claims that while he's been dealing with the matter, Dorit decided to depart for an extended vacation in Europe. She's not even with the kids. Who's she with? Extended vacation in Europe, leaving their 2 kids with her parents. He says their kids do not know where Dorit is or when she's coming back. Oh, and look, PK is not the best, okay? But what? He said that this proves Dorit prioritizes personal travel over, quote, addressing the urgent financial crisis facing our family home. PK is asking the court to intervene and give him sole authority to sell the home. I mean, well, look, again, we are only getting one side of the situation, but if it's true that she's on an extended vacation, I know some people are like, well, she's been taking care of the kids, he's never home, and that's true. She's claimed that he's never home either. Like, why aren't the kids with you? Okay, well, apparently Dorit's on an extended vacation with no return date. That sounds fabulous, Dorit. Oh, but wait, you got a mortgage, your home is almost in foreclosure. It sounds fabulous, but at the same time, girl, go pay your bills. Well, she's probably thinking, look, let me enjoy this while I can because we're supposed to start filming at the end of the summer. All right. Margaret says Porsha is selfish. I mean, it's definitely giving that. And I'm not saying that PK is a perfect father or perfect human being because remember, he was problematic for a while. But based off what's being exposed in this divorce, I don't know. So that's the update when it comes to PK and Dorit's divorce. She's on an extended vacation in Europe. Must be nice while we're over here working. Like, I could be on an extended vacation in Europe. Why am I here working? My mortgage is not in foreclosure or pre-foreclosure or even close. Just saying. Thank you. Look, things to be grateful for. Thank you. I will say this, though. The other day, I had to call my lender because I had noticed on my because I have it on auto pay by the blessings. But then I was looking at my statement and I saw a late fee. But I was like, hold on. What? A late fee? It's on auto pay. How am I late if it's on auto pay? Well, apparently, thank God I called them. They were like, well, no, this late fee stems from 2022. And it wasn't compounding interest or anything like that. It just was on my account. And I said from 2022 and no one thought to give me a call? I pay my bills. Don't have me out here like Pori. But no, apparently they weren't holding it against me. It was just on my account. It was just on my account. But you know, if they will credit you if you've missed like one payment or something like that. They'll credit you. You know, like, oh, you know, you never missed a payment before. This, you know, we'll credit it back. I was like, well, thank you. 2022. This has been on my account, and I'm just noticing that you guys have. It's been there, but again, it hasn't been sort of like this. It hasn't been compounding. So it was just like one late fee. Dusty said he can't pay. I was like, wait. But it was credited to me. But I'm glad we resolved it because I was looking. I was like, wait. I saw it on the last statement. So let me look at the previous statement. It was there too. Then I looked at another. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Not the late fees, but it was one late fee from 2022. My mortgage lender, y'all need to get it together. But the lady was so lovely. I was like, fine. Daniel says, I pay my bills. My bills are paid. Quote, laughing out loud. Exactly. Shanae says, 4 years ago, it's been on my statement. She also said that my auto pay was set up in March. I was like, ma'am, my auto pay has been set up for at least over maybe like 2 years. There ain't no way, or almost 2 years. There ain't no way that I just set up auto pay. So something ain't going on over there. Okay. Something ain't going on over there. Yes. Dorothy says pandemic 2022. Yes. Okay. And look, in all fairness, y'all know I quit my corporate job in 2021. So it was probably just me getting used to all the bills and setting things up and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So that's probably why I missed the payment. And that's when I set up the auto pay. So my auto pay probably has been set up since 2022. Okay, when did it's become about me? Well, I'm talking about poor Reed not paying her bills, and I paid my bills. I'm here working, and she on an extended vacation. Okay, poor Reed. That's fine. Since we're talking about poor, let's talk about the RHONY OG cast. I don't know. I needed a segue. I mean, they are giving a little poor, especially Sonia. Oh. I like Sonia though. All right, look, Danielle says, not this Taurus man, too type A about them bills. Your man? Me too. We Tauruses pay our bills on time. Okay. Well, Angela, you're right. I'm going to check the next statement too. Angela says, they lying, KEMPIRE. Keep watching your statement. I'm watching. Okay. Rain. But you know what? This is a perfect time because we're in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. This is why you should be paying more and more attention to your bills and things like that, and just certain little things in regards to just because of Mercury retrograde. You know, people say don't sign contracts, and that's not true. You can definitely sign a contract, but what you want to make sure is that you're reviewing it extra close. Okay. I don't know. It must have been a glitch in their system because why wouldn't you call someone since 2022? It's like there's a late fee on your account. Okay. Coco says, I hate a late fee. Everything is on auto pay. Me too. I mean, by the grace of God, not everyone can do that. You know what I mean? So by the grace of God, we're able to do that. All right. Let me go back to where I wanted to talk about. Let's talk about the OG cast of RHONY. Okay. The OG cast of RHONY they have, oh my goodness. Speaking of, like, what, TMZ, what's up with your website? All right. So according to TMZ, they said the OG stars of the Real Housewives of New York are getting even more screen time because their new reality series has already scored an expanded episode order. So you remember that the Golden Years spinoff that they were doing at E is no longer under NBC Universal. They were bought out. So it's really separate from NBC Universal. Okay. I got to close out this damn, like all these damn spams from TMZ. What is up with your spam website? Like, why am I getting spam from their website? That's not good, TMZ. That's a little suspect. Anyway, I write this to say, production sources tell TMZ that Luann de Lesseps, Sonia Morgan, Kelly Bennett Simone, Ramona Singer, and Dorinda Medley impressed E! Network executives with the footage they've already shot for The Golden Life, the series that reunited the former... Hold on, y'all, because it keeps spinning. The former Real Housewives of New York franchise with an all-new cast. We're told that the women recently wrapped filming the first batch of episodes in Palm Beach, and the network brass was so pleased with what they saw, they decided to greenlight additional episodes. You rarely ever hear this happening. According to TMZ sources, they say cameras will fire back up at the end of the month, with the cast heading to the Hamptons before returning to New York City to continue filming. We're told the vibe of the show is much different than the drama-heavy formula fans came to expect from the Housewives universe. Their sources tell TMZ Bravo made the worst decision of their lives recasting RHONY. The reboot saw Sai, Uba, Erin, Jenna Lyons, Jessel Tang, and Bryn Whitfield picking up the series' iconic red apples. And if you're a Club KEMPIRE baddie, I'll tell you guys now publicly, because I told Club KEMPIRE, our Apple Podcast paid subscription, I told them several weeks ago, according to my sources, this filming for the season has been lackluster. That's why you're seeing the press where they're saying that Sai is getting very much involved with Martha Stewart's assistant, her hair person. And also she's fighting with Carol Radswell about the Epstein files of it all. You're getting that press, and you're getting Sai activated because word on the street is the other women are not bringing it, especially the newbies. They're not bringing it, from what I've heard. They're not bringing it. So I am not hopeful for the reboot to the reboot, RHONY. But okay, Bravo, this is what y'all wanted. All right. So that's the update on RHONY and what's going on over there at RHONY. Okay. All right. Where else did I want to go? Because I have okay, let's talk about Jay-Z. Let's move on to some pop culture stuff. Wait, do I want to talk about Jay-Z first? Let me just see what I have in here in my notes. Oh, Bravo related. Summer House, there have been all kinds of rumors on who's coming back, who's not coming back. The word on the street is that Wes was not coming back. Word on the recent streets we reported here on Tuesday Takeover that Amanda Petula wasn't coming back. I saw that they already filmed the reunion for In the City. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Amanda stay there. I don't know if you're going to see, I'm guessing you're going to see Wes there because they're dating still. Okay. Ciara already confirmed over the weekend that she had to leave Fiji because Love Island, they recently ended. I feel like this season of Love Island wasn't as popular as the last season. So I've heard mixed things that Love Island was not that great this season. Okay. I'm sure the numbers were fine. Sidebar. I know you guys are probably tired of me saying this. They announced, and congratulations to Ariana Madix, who got an Emmy nomination for hosting Love Island. I don't understand why Andy Cohen is co-hosting this reality show that's meant for 20-something-year-olds. And I'm not saying, because I know some of y'all that don't like me think that I'm pushing for the job. I'm not. I don't watch the show. And I'm also a man of a particular age too. You should get someone that's 20-something. And look, I know what Ariana's like, she's damn near 40, but she looks damn near, young. Okay? Why are we having Andy Cohen host like everything over there at NBC? Everything. Even if it's not Bravo, he's hosting everything. It doesn't make sense. I don't want to see him host Love Island. I don't want to see, and I know he is a good host. I'm not saying he's not a good host, but he doesn't fit the demographic at all. And there's so many NBCU talent that you guys, will use for BravoCon, but you won't use for television? Make it make sense. So this is me rooting for the NBCU talent to get an opportunity, because this doesn't make sense to me. Why you have Andy Cohen, damn near 60, and that's not shaming. By the grace of God, may we all see 60. Why do we have Andy Cohen hosting this? It doesn't make, there's just an age difference that he's not going to see or understand in hosting a show like that. And that's part of the reason why I don't even watch the show, because I just don't feel connected to that life at this particular point. It doesn't make sense to me. And every time I see it, I always want to call it out. I have heard of, Creme Brulee says, KEMPIRE, have you heard of Alondra? Who has not heard of Alondra? Like, for me, she really was the star, and she's continued to shine since Love Island. Like, she's had so many deals and whatnot. She's still with her guy. See, I know the things. I just don't watch. Okay, I do know the things. Dorothy says he can't let it go. But here's the thing. he might not be able to let it go, but there are bosses that make these decisions. I don't understand why they're making these silly decisions. Doesn't make sense to me. Okay. Desiree says, I don't mind Andy hosting. I do. But you know why I do? Because there's so many talents that could be hosting it. I don't understand why one person at a network, and mind you, he's at Bravo. So when he's hosting The Traders, why one white guy? You know, the whole, people not leaning into DEI. One white man of a particular age is hosting everything at the network. That's weird. That's weird to me. And then every time I see it, I'm going to call it out. And again, I know me calling out, people think that I want that job. No, I don't. Okay? I have plenty of other jobs coming my way. All right? Okay. Tiara says most of us do. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Destiny says Brooke Ashley was talking about this yesterday. See? Just saying. I don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me. All right. Moving on. Exactly. Margaret says exactly. So many people overlooked. Talk it, KEMPIRE. There's so many young talents. And I'm not even just talking about black and brown. But I am going to talk about them. But there's so many young talents. Even, women, white women that could be. Well, we already have Ariana. But you get what I'm saying. It just doesn't make sense. Okay. Miss Nkezi says, I like Andy. And I think people are going to take this as me not liking Andy and saying that he's not a good host. I'm not saying that he's not a good host. For me, it doesn't make sense when it comes to that demographic. It also doesn't make sense that he's hosting every single thing under NBC Universal, not just Bravo, everything under NBC Universal. And Kesey says, I like Andy, but he should not host The Traders or Love Island reunions. I agree. All right. Exactly. Chris says, definitely too old, no offense. I agree. Namaste J says, okay, KEMPIRE, quoting Phaedra, I got many jobs. And many more jobs coming to me. Okay? All right. Beautiful photo. The skin is skinning over there. Namaste J. Skin was skinning. All right. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to what I was saying. Summer House. So Summer House cast has been officially announced. Bravo has confirmed who the cast will be. I'm a little concerned about one particular cast member. And we've expressed this concern before. So Bravo posted on their social media the official cast because they started filming this past weekend in the Hamptons. So Bravo says, we figured the Emmy nominations called for a full send announcement. Here are the official cast members returning to Summer House Season 11, filming now. Okay? So Carl is coming back. Lindsey's coming back. Kyle is coming back. Ciara's coming back. Jesse's coming back. Mia, I love Mia. And oh my gosh, OMG, what's her name? The blonde one at the bottom. What's her name? You guys will tell me in the chat. And KJ's coming back. That's terrible that I don't remember her name. But she did bring a lot last season. I'm not, I just can't think of her name right now. I don't know why. But KJ's coming back. I'm concerned for KJ coming back because there were rumors that he wasn't going to come back because of his mental health. But he does have a lot of support from Ciara and Mia there. But I am still very much concerned about his mental health in doing reality television. But if there's a lot of support there, Bailey. I knew it started with a B. Thanks, Chris. Bailey. Sorry, Bailey. Forgive my brain, not my heart. Okay. All right. I thought you brought a lot, and I like how you clocked Ben during the reunion. So Bailey's coming back, and KJ's coming back. So the three newbies are coming back: Mia, Bailey, and KJ. All right. Thanks, Shanae. All right. So this is your official cast. I'm sure there'll be friends that will be stopping by. Ciara, please do not bring, what's her name? The other Miha. Do not bring her. Because that was a rumor, too, that Miha might be making an appearance. Okay? Evie, no. Ben, they already confirmed that Ben was not coming back. I think it's fine. I think that's perfectly fine. I don't think he liked the press or the attention that he got. But again, although I am concerned for KJ when it comes to his mental health and filming this reality show, I do know, especially from the reunion, that Mia and Ciara are going to be great supports for him while filming. And I liked seeing that trio. this past season. And mind you, I didn't watch a lot of the seasons before, but I did watch season 10, and I really enjoyed them on the show. And this really represents New York. Like when we look at New York, like this is a perfect representation of what New York looks like and what friend groups in New York look like. When I see people post pictures of their friend groups, like, you know, during Pride and stuff like that, I was like, wow, not one person of color, even though in this day and age, shout out to, you know, to Nolan Wells' family. In this day and age, when you're the one black person. Okay, I know some of you were asking whether I was going to talk about the Nolan Wells story. I'm going to we will talk about it. And my thing here, and I've talked about this with other people, especially as someone that went to a majority white school, that in the majority white high school, that was the first time anyone ever called me the N-word. Stories like this can be triggering for people like myself, black people in general. I put it on the white creators because they're the ones that need the education. I've been reposting and talking about the story, but me specifically talking about it can be a little triggering. And very sad, especially because we see so many stories like Nolan Wells. But I'm putting it on the non-black creators to elevate that story in their communities, because their communities need to understand what that looks like and why they should be protective of their non-white friends in those spaces. Okay? Oh, Poppy, I didn't see that. I gotta go to the page. Poppy says that Aphrodite, you know, we've talked about Aphrodite here on the channel before, did a great reading. I really do enjoy Aphrodite's readings. I'm gonna check that out after today's live. I didn't see that. So, because I know a lot of you wanted me to talk about it, and if you follow me on Instagram, I do repost certain things and talk about it there. But again, I'm putting this on non-white platforms, non-influencers with large platforms to discuss this with their white, the white creators, to talk about this in their white spaces, because that's where it needs to be talked about. Just saying. But anyways, shout out to Nolan Wells' family. I did mean to talk about it last Tuesday takeover, but you know, I had a lot of things going on and I had to get out of here. Way of Keith says the Nolan Wells story is triggering. I get PTSD from my upbringing. Same. When I saw it, I'm like, sad and disappointing, and I ended up having conversations with other people that grew up very similar like I did, and especially being the only one in certain spaces. Look. All right. Let me see. Rochelle says, I went to Ole Miss and FSU. I never had any problems, but I know others who did. I agree with you, KEMPIRE. This is on them. They're the ones who need to be educated on it. They're the ones who need to be educated on it. But I'm glad we can still talk about it here. But I did mean to talk about it. Yeah, Virgo Leo Cap says, I love that some of the KEMPIRE fam watches Aphrodite. I watched his reading also. Yeah, there's a few. Aphrodite is really good. He's also a YouTube creator here on YouTube. And he's done a few different readings, especially when it comes to black and brown situations like this. He's done readings like on Shaquilla Robinson. He did a reading on her. There was another story about, I can't think of her name right now. Ashley, you remember, people thought that her fiance may have done something to her while they were on their trip to Africa. So he's done a reading on that. So this is not the first time that he's elevated and done readings on black and brown cases like that. So true crime cases like that. So be sure to check out his YouTube channel as well. All right. I've digressed, but we needed to have that conversation, and I'm glad that we did. All right, because I have a lot more to talk about. But before we move on, I do want to say thank you to Boll Branch for sponsoring today's live. Have you noticed that your sheets are slipping off the corners lately? Or maybe your pillows don't feel as supportive? So many people think it's their mattress or they think it's their pillows, when it actually has more to do with your sheets. I'm so excited about our friends Boll Branch being here on the channel again, because I've been able to experience their sheets personally over the last several weeks. And I took advantage of their Memorial Day sale. More on that later. But I'm excited for them to be back here on the channel because so many people complain about their sleep patterns and how their sleep is being affected, and they don't realize it probably isn't your mattress. It probably isn't your pillows. It's probably what you're putting on your mattress and your pillows. So that's why I upgraded to our friends over at Boll Branch. They make everything your bed needs. Their signature organic cotton sheets, pillows, blankets, and comforters are all designed to be breathable, incredibly soft, and get better over time. More importantly, how do your sheets feel after you wash them several times? So most people start with their signature sheets, and a lot of customers buy 2 sets so that they can rotate them. I know that's what I did recently. I've also added their waffle sheet, which I've already washed twice, and still it remains super, super soft and luxurious. So as I mentioned before, I took advantage of their Memorial Day sale. Thank you to all of you that reminded me to make that order that day. Literally got it, not the following day. I ordered it on that Memorial Day. I got it that Wednesday. Can you imagine? What I also loved with their customer service, their local Boll Branch store reached out to me to help if I wanted to upgrade my bedroom. So the customer service already was top tier. But more importantly, what I also love is that after I washed it several times, it still remains super soft, still super quality. But of course, I don't bring anyone here where I can't get you some sort of discount. Sleep cooler this summer with Boll Branch during their annual summer event. For a limited time, get 20% off site-wide at bollandbranch.com/KEMPIRE with code KEMPIRE. That's Boll Branch, BOLLAND, branch.com/KEMPIRE. Code KEMPIRE to take 20% off. bollandbranch.com/KEMPIRE. Exclusions apply. More information on Boll Branch will be available in the description. Thanks, Boll Branch. And since then, since I did that video, I've watched that waffle sheet maybe at least 2-3 times more, and still great. It still has a great weight to it. Oh, I love Boll Branch, and I see that they're on multiple platforms. I'm starting to see it more and more, and some of you have taken advantage of the Boll Branch discount. I love it, and because it's warm still, I mean, it's warm. Like I don't know how it does it. I don't know what magic is in these sheets. I'm still cool at night. I love it. I love my Boll Branch purchases, and like all my sheets right now. Yeah, all my sheets right now are from my Boll Branch. Shout out to Boll Branch, all right? All right, and more information on our sponsors will be available in the description. Welcome back to our Tuesday Takeover, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to like today's video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well will start to show up in your algorithm. I also want to remind you guys, you can also watch our lives and other videos that we create on thekempire.com. So don't forget, you can, if you don't want to be a part of the live chat, you can just watch us on thekempire.com. Click the watch button there, and there's all kinds of really cool stuff that are coming to the website, or they're available right now on the website. You can see our blog posts there as well. I'm going to start writing some editorials there, so make sure you're checking out thekempire.com and join our mailing list, thekempire.com/join. That again is thekempire.com/join. All right, hey Sky. Sky just joined the chat. Shout out to everyone that's just joining the chat. Let us know where you're watching from, and welcome to our Tuesday Takeover. Let me move on to Cory Booker. So over the weekend, you may have seen that Lindsey Graham had passed away. Lindsey Graham, I'm not going to make any jokes. You've probably seen all the jokes about Lindsey Graham from over the years. So I only wanted to talk about this story was because people were slamming this video that Cory Booker posted in memoriam of Lindsey Graham. Let me show you.
So I go up to Lindsey Graham, and I'm a brand new senator, determined to do something about mass incarceration. And I hear through Dick Durbin and others that...
I will tell you this. Cory Booker has turned the comments off when it comes to this video.
He's the guy to work with. And I say, Mr. Graham, sir, I'd like to work with you on criminal justice reform. He seems almost amused by what I said. He goes, Cory, do you understand? I'm in a primary right now, and I'm running against a guy who is batshit crazy. I can't even so much as talk to you right now. Get out of here, man. Come back to me after my primary. And I laughed and came back to him after the primary. And true to his word, he rolled up his sleeves, and we went to work. And thanks to him and Dick Durbin and some other Senate heroes, our bill became the First Step Act after years, 2 presidents, 2 Congresses, and became law. One of my favorite moments in that negotiation was at the last minute, I'm trying to force one more thing into that bill. This has to do with children being put in solitary confinement. And I am going at it with this White House official who says, no, hard no. And we're almost yelling at each other. And then he says, I'm going to get Lindsey Graham on the phone and he will tell you. And so he gets the White House operator to connect Lindsey Graham onto the phone. And Lindsey Graham listens for maybe a hot second and then interrupts the guy and says, are you kidding me? We need Cory Booker to get this bill done. We can't do it without him. Give him what he wants. And it was in the bill. It's now part of the law of the land. One of the White House negotiators during that first negotiation told me that Lindsey Graham was like an unguided missile. That God, you never knew which way he was going to go, whether he would come back and hit you. But when he was aligned, when he would be in the right place at the right time, man, he could get things done that other people couldn't and bring a lot of light and new possibilities to the efforts. I am stunned at Lindsey Graham's death, but I pray that he is reunited with his friend, John McCain, that they both are experiencing God's love, grace, mercy, and forgiveness. My prayers are with his family and all those who loved and cherished him. I will miss my perhaps most unexpected friend in the Senate and someone with whom I got some good things done.
Okay, Cory. So a lot of people had a lot to say about Cory's video. As I said to you before, he didn't take down the video. I don't know if he's taken it down since I got it from his account, but he turned the comments off. So a lot of people have been making their commentary on Cory Booker's video about Lindsey Graham. So I will say this, and I'm going to remind you a little bit about who Lindsey Graham was as a person. I don't agree necessarily. You know, there's so many jokes about DT and him passing away and Lindsey Graham, but I allow people to have their jokes. I don't participate in those jokes, but I also don't uplift people the way that Cory Booker did, because as someone said in the chat, a broken clock is right twice a day. Let me remind you, shout out to Ashley, the Baroness on Instagram and on TikTok. I love her videos. I love how she handled Lindsey Graham's history.
Lindsey Graham died last night, 71 years old. And the tributes want me to say he was complicated. He wasn't complicated. He was consistent. People keep saying don't speak ill of the dead, but I'm not going to speak ill of him. I'm going to quote him. And if that sounds the same, take it up with the deceased. A eulogy sums up a whole life, so let some. He was born behind a pool hall, orphaned young, and raised his sister. A genuinely hard beginning. And
speaking of his sister, the governor of the state that Lindsey Graham represented has put his sister in position right now to fill his seat, which in certain states you're allowed to do that. But she has no experience. I mean, look at the president, though.
Honestly, he overcame it. I'll give him that. But hold your applause, because that kind of childhood means that ignorance was never available to him as an excuse. He knew what being counted out tasted like. But he spent 30 years running the kitchen anyway. He sat in Strom Thurmond's chair, the 24-hour filibuster against civil rights chair. Yeah, that one. And he made sure to keep it warm for 23 years. You know, original fixtures, guided tours. Now, they'll tell you it's ugly to call a man racist at his own funeral. Well, fine, I won't do it. I'll just let him make the argument. In 2013, immigrants crossing the southern border, he said they came from hellholes. Those were his words. Now, mind you, he said that years before Trump did. In 2019, when a president told 4 congresswomen to go back where they came from, Lindsey went on television and called these women a bunch of communists who, and I quote, hate our country. In 2020, to the black people of his own state, he said, y'all can go anywhere, conservative, not liberal. That was permission with a leash. That's 4 quotes. Different decades, same man. I didn't call him anything. I just ran the tape. And the women, let's not leave out the women. Right. In 2018, a woman sat before his committee and testified about her assault. And Lindsey delivered one of the most passionate performances of his career. Not for her, though. He screamed on behalf of the accused. And days later, the sentence he chose on camera, I'm a single white man from South Carolina and I'm told I should shut up. But I will not shut up. Oh, sassy self. Nobody in the history of this country has ever successfully told a single white man from South Carolina to shut up. Then in 2022, Dobbs falls. And while the other Republicans were at least pretending that it was a state's issue, Lindsey introduced a national abortion ban. Weeks before the midterms. He didn't have to. He volunteered. That man never met a woman's decision he didn't want co-signed by Congress. And the spine, let's eulogize the spine briefly, since, it was rarely used. 2016, blocking a Supreme Court seat. He begged the cameras, use my words against me. An election year vacancy should wait for the voters. 2020, election year vacancy. He confirmed her in 38 days, while people were already voting. His words were used against him, and he was fine. Literally, the man had no shame. He called Trump a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. The finest sentence of his entire career. His one conviction. Then spent 8 years apologizing to him over 18 holes. And died 4 weeks after winning a primary on that man's complete and total endorsement. Even the timing was loyal. The last work of his hands is still on his desk. Well, it was as of this morning, anyway. A bill putting fresh paperwork between certain voters and their ballots. Tributes say he never stopped fighting. But he never started. Fighting requires a side, right? And this man spent 50 years as a professional plus one. Embarrassing. John McCain's shadow, Donald Trump's caddy. Never once was he the subject of his own sentence. A weather vane at least tells you about the wind. He just turned and asked if the wind was pleased. That concludes the reading of the life. He wrote every word of it himself. I just chose the order. We will not be observing a moment of silence. So in lieu of flowers, check your registration. Take 2 people with you. He worried his whole career about the supply of angry white guys. Condolences will be accepted in November. We'll make sure they're counted, assuming his bill doesn't pass first. He'd have wanted the paperwork. Ashes to ashes, record to custody. The service is concluded. History has him now. And history, unlike Lindsey, doesn't change its story for anybody.
Shout out to Ashley the Baroness on Instagram and on TikTok. Rochelle says, as a political scientist, this is his experience with bipartisan politics. Sometimes you have people who may be, quote, ultra conservative, but Corey was able to get something out of him. You use each other. But you know what? I think people are frustrated with Corey, especially because when Corey was mayor of Newark, a lot of people loved him. They really saw such a bright future for him. And since then, it feels as if Corey has sold his soul just so that he can elevate. And word on the street, Corey and Lindsey may have more in common than we can think of. But we'll leave that for Patreon to talk more about. It is quite disappointing, but Cory Booker has disappointed me way before the Lindsey Graham of it all. Okay, so I love what Ashley had to say. Register to vote, y'all. We have midterms coming up, and they are trying to affect the midterm elections before then. All right. Let's move on to some other topics. Yes, I know all of you are here for us to talk about the Shamea and Porsha of it all. We will get to it in a second because I have a lot to go through. But Jay-Z 30. So Jay-Z 30, celebration of Jay-Z's album, was it Reasonable Doubt and his other project. He had these sold out shows in Yankee Stadium, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, Sundays, oh wait, actually, let me see what happens when I do Tuesday Takeover. I'm like, there's a story that I needed to add to the, that I wanted to add to this story. Because there's a statement from Rock Nation and Yankee Stadium when it comes to what happened on Sunday. So on Sunday, I was seeing all these tweets about the door is closed on Yankee Stadium. People were not able to get inside. For 2 hours, the show was supposed to start at 8 p.m. The show did not start until after 10 p.m. because the doors were closed at Yankee Stadium. All right, but Rock Nation and Yankee Stadium released a statement in regards to what happened. So let me just scroll down. So Rock Nation confirmed apparently on the third night of Jay-Z's Yankee Stadium shows were scheduled to start at 8 p.m. on Sunday night, July 12th. However, doors did not open until 10 p.m. due to security breach. So Rock Nation confirmed the breach in a joint statement with the New York Yankees and Live Nation. It's shared with Complex, saying on Sunday evening at various fan entrances at Yankee Stadium, hundreds of individuals in large groups, New York, who did not have tickets to tonight's performance, Sunday's performance, stormed over peaceful ticket holders and in some cases breached security. OMG, everybody wanted to be in that damn concert, especially after the first 2 nights and they saw all the different people that were coming through. So they knew on Sunday that something special was going to happen. So as a result, in their statement, they continue, as a result, gates at all entrances of the stadium were closed for an extended period of time. With the thoughtful guidance of the NYPD, gates were reopened cautiously and carefully to ensure the safety of those inside and outside. The Yankees, Rock Nation, and Live Nation express our deep gratitude to the NYPD and to Yankee Stadium security personnel for their leadership and direction throughout the evening, putting the welfare of attendees above all other considerations. Jay himself addressed the delay on once he hit the stage, telling the fans at Yankee Stadium, I wish I could do a Jay-Z voice, but I can't. He says, it was like 10,000 people outside and they closed all the doors. Then somebody rushed the door and they closed the door. But for the sake of you guys' safety and everybody's safety outside, there's 10,000 people outside. I didn't want to start music and people get trampled. Yeah, because we remember years ago what happened at that Diddy event. And a lot of lives were lost. So I'm glad that it turned out okay, but the show did not happen until very, very late. All right, I did get the list of who was a part of the guest list. You may have seen some of the photos that came out. First of all, on the first night, Beyonce came out and sang on the chorus of Can't Knock the Hustle. You know, Mary J. Blige sang on the original. Why didn't we get Mary J. Blige to come and sing it? I feel like there's some sort of thing going on in the world. And no, some people might say, you know, KEMPIRE, that's just speculation, that's conspiracy theory. But I feel like there's a little bit of a war in the worlds of Diddy and Jay-Z. I don't know, but I feel like there's a little bit of a war. But that's just speculation. I'm not saying fact. But I don't understand why you wouldn't get Mary J. Blige to come and perform it at least once. Maybe she will in other places. Oh, damn. Coco says Mary's lazy on stage. I'm sorry. She never used to be, though. I saw her during the No Drama tour. And I know you were saying KEMPIRE. That was like 20 years ago. Well, okay. But Beyonce actually came out. And some might say, well, when you have Beyonce at home, you don't need Mary J. Blige. Well, okay. All right. Jazz says that Mary's on tour. Is she? But Mary's in Vegas. I don't think she's on tour. Yeah, she has a Vegas residency. But no, the Vegas residency, unless it conflicted with the night. Maybe it did. I don't know. I still think there might be something because, you know, things happen all the time. And these people show up. Just saying. But anyway, so back to this. When you have Beyonce at home, of course, you have Beyonce come out. So Beyonce came out on the first night and performed with Jay-Z. Okay? Hold on. Wait, that was hold on. Where's my Beyonce photo? Oh, here it is. So on the first night, she looks great. And she sang live. Well, since then, Tiana Taylor performed it last night, and everyone is saying that, yeah, you should never sing after Beyonce. So Beyonce sang it on the first night, Tiana Taylor sang it on Sunday night, and everyone is slamming Tiana Taylor's version, saying like she didn't sound great. So Tiana then posted her rehearsing it backstage, and people are still saying it's still not great. So Tiana, I feel like she's feeling imposter syndrome. And I've never seen that from her. And I think it's because now she's getting a lot more attention. And I felt that when she gave her speech, because a lot of people are saying that she should not be called an icon, blah, 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 blah. But I don't feel like she should have addressed it. Clearly, it sounded like she couldn't hear herself. It didn't sound like the mic was on, okay? As a live performer, as someone that sang live before, not every time you perform, it's on point. Do I think that Tiana Taylor has a fantastic voice? Yes. Do I think that she's a dynamic artist? Yes. I don't feel like this takes away. And this is why I find it so funny. When people lip sync, you guys have a problem. When they sing live and they don't sound their best that night, you guys have a problem. Didn't she also just have vocal surgery a few months ago? Tiana had vocal surgery not too long ago. So y'all don't give, when I say y'all, the world does not give grace when you should try and give grace. Because first of all, she had vocal surgery not too long ago. You're in a stadium. It's Mercury retrograde. Yeah, I'm gonna bring the Mercury retrograde in. Okay. So I'm gonna give her grace. She's still a dynamic talent. I think she's incredibly talented, and she will be fine. Tiana, take down that rehearsal footage of you practicing the song. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So yeah, a lot of people are talking about Teyana Taylor, especially after Beyonce performed the same song on night one. So these were some of the performers that were a part of Jay-Z's guest list. Night one, Beyonce. Blue Ivy came out and played the piano. I love me some Blue Ivy. I think she's incredibly such a Capricorn. Y'all saw this photo of, because Alicia Keys was one of the special guests as well. They performed Empire State of Mind. So I just love this photo because it looks like Alicia Keys is taking a picture, like Blue Ivy is taking a picture with a fan. That's Alicia Keys. She's like, okay, I'll take a picture with you, Alicia. Okay. So I love that. I love that for her. But she came out and she was on the piano. So not only was she on a summer tour with her mama, what was it, last summer or the summer before? And she was performing. She's shown so much growth. I just love me some Blue. Exactly. Coco says Blue Ivy, AKA management. She's showing up, making sure everything is on point. And she's saying hello to the guests backstage. So Blue Ivy performed on night one. Nas was there. Mecca was there. Memphis Bleek was there. Jazz O was there. And Alicia Keys. Night two was a little lackluster. I'm sorry. I mean, they didn't have that many guests. They had Eminem. And Eminem doesn't come out the house. So he came out the house for Jay-Z. Pharrell Williams. They also said Pharrell Williams had some sound issues as well. Fine. Pharrell don't care. Pharrell, still collecting all the coins from residuals and songs that he's produced and performed on. And now he's the creative director over there at Louis Vuitton. He's fine. Okay? And Tiana, that's what you need to learn as an icon. You don't need to address everything. If people want to say that you sounded bad that night, fine. Whatever. I don't need to post some rehearsal footage, nothing. Were you invited to perform on stage with Jay-Z? No. Okay? Slick Rick was there on night two as well. Night three, though. Night three was jam-packed. And this is why people didn't get home till the wee hours of the morning. I'm glad I didn't go. Oh, can y'all imagine if I went on night three? Oh my gosh. So Rihanna said she's like, you guys, I'm a little rusty. Because she went up there and she was performing her songs. I mean, night three was lit. Because not only did we get Rihanna, we got the clips. All right. We got Beyonce performed again. Beyonce is such a Virgo, y'all. Beyonce, the first night she just came and performed Can't Knock the Hustle. On night three, she performed Drunk in Love, and she had her dancers there. She's such a Virgo. She's not just going to come out there and perform a song. She's like, no, we're going to have some dancers. It's going to be on point. It was probably like the most on point performance, meaning like a whole situation. Okay. So Beyonce came out and looked great. Okay. Let me show you what Beyonce wore. Okay. With the Timberland boots. Remember when these Timberland high heel boots were popular? All right. She's got the Yankee Stadium jersey on, Yankees jersey on. All right. Word on the street, that's just Beyonce's hair. All right. Sacreding. Pharrell came and performed again. Jeezy was there. Jadakiss was there. I didn't know Usher was there. Y'all talking about, oh, Mary J. Blige got the Vegas residency. Well, Usher got a stadium tour too. Just saying. Look, schedule conflicts. I'm just speculating. Fat Joe was there. Swiss Beats was there. Teyana Taylor, of course, was there. Jermaine Dupri. I heard Jermaine Dupri is suing Sony for back pay on residuals that he's written with some iconic artists like Mariah Carey. This is what Tuesday Takeover is, y'all. I cover all the stories that we don't get to cover. So Jermaine Dupri was there, and The Dream. We already knew The Dream was going to be there. Okay? Who went? And did you have a good time? All right? Yeah, the 03 Bonnie and Clyde Timberlands. She looked great. Beyonce looked really, really good. Okay. What happened to Beyonce? What happened to Act 3, though? Everyone said that Act 3 was going to happen at the end of May. But I do truly believe that Beyonce is not going to release anything at the same time that Jay-Z is releasing anything. So I think Act 3 is delayed till 2027, y'all. Because Jay-Z's performing in California, then he's going to Paris. Is he doing a London show too? But okay. All right. Act 3 on delay. All right. I truly do not believe that Act 3 is Destiny's Child reunion. I don't believe that. I do believe that it's going to be a solo project from Beyonce. I do believe that it will be rock. But we just don't know when it's going to happen. Okay. Let me say thank you. Dr. Payne with the red lip. Dr. Payne, thank you for the super chat and for being a member. Dr. Payne says, political leaders often fight in public against what they want in private. Sad. That part. Thank you so much for the super chat. Guys, you can also support the channel just by liking today's video. Don't forget, we are also still raising money for the LGBT Center. We didn't reach our goal in June, but we are going to reach our goal of $10,000. 100% of your donation goes to the organization. I've already spoken to some of the directors over there at the LGBT Center, and I said we are going to hit our goal of $10,000. Until we do so, that is when we will end our campaign. So thank you to everyone that's already donated as well. Today is sponsored by our friends over at Bask Lather. I know y'all see it. Y'all see it. You guys have been complimenting me on my beard for the longest. And it's brought to you by our friends over at Bask Lather. I've been talking about it even when they weren't a sponsor of our live. Bask Lather has done a number on my beard. I told you I was going to keep using their beard products and see if I see a difference. But what I've also loved is hearing all of you talk about using the products since we brought them here on the channel. But also, some of you have been using Bask Lather way before we started using it over here, and you talked about how it's helped you over the years. But the proof is in the pudding. I see it. I've gotten compliments, not just from you, but people in the real world that are seeing my beard. The beard is looking luscious. But I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't keeping up with the full beard system that they have, because not only do they have the beard shampoo, the beard conditioner, they have the beard oil, they have the beard magic. I don't know what's in it. I mean, I could just look, but they also had the beard balm. I'm going to be honest with you. For the first few weeks, I was keeping up with the entire system. But the one thing that I have been keeping up with is the beard shampoo and conditioner. And even just those two things have made a huge difference. So I'm going to promise you that I'm going to try my best and start using the beard oil and the beard magic and the beard balm, okay? Just because I feel like that's going to make an even bigger difference if those two other products from Bask Lather made the difference. But it's not just about me. They have products, more products for all of you with hair on your head, okay? Fine. We'll talk about the people with you with hair on your head, okay? Bask Lather, they have so many different products for your hair as well. A nourishing hair balm for curly or kinky hair that helps reduce hair breakage and add shine. When used regularly, and the beard's proof, users have seen results in about 3 months, made with ingredients that penetrate hair strands without clogging pores. Non-greasy formulation with no petroleum or lanolin. More importantly, I love the fact that this is a Black-owned business. I've told you before, I'm going to tell you again. This business was started when a dermatologist misdiagnosed CEO Shayna's younger sister and said her hair may never grow back. The family took things in their own hands and launched this business. And they've not just helped their own family, but they've helped so many more people, including you that are watching. As always, I've gotten you a discount. Explore viral bestsellers and products of healthier hair of all types from Bask Lather. Go to baskandlatherco.com and use code KEMPIRE for 20% off. That's 20% off at baskandlatherco.com with code KEMPIRE. More information on Bask Lather will be available in the description. Thanks, Bask Lather. And we're back. Welcome back to Tuesday Takeover. I appreciate you guys being here. And shout out to those of you that have already liked today's video. This is where we talk about a variety of reality television, reality TV news, and pop culture news. We still have quite a few stories. We have not talked about the Shamea and Porsha of it all just yet. We will get to it in a second. But we have an update in regards to the Tyler Perry story. It's been a while since we talked about Tyler Perry and the lawsuit that he's facing. I know there's a lot of things that Tyler Perry, we were just talking about the Nolan Wells situation. I know that he's contributing to the funeral costs for the family. And that's something that Tyler has always done when it comes to our community. Well, there's an update in regards to the lawsuit that he's facing. As you know, he's facing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit where he's being accused of SA. All right, let me just remind you of some of what is being reported. Let me just bring this over here. All right. So, reminder in regards to this story. Shout out to our friends over at Yahoo. They report the media mogul is seeking sanctions against Mario Rodriguez and pushing back against questions about his sexuality. Okay. Tyler Perry is escalating his defense in the sexual assault lawsuit brought against him, alleging in new court filings that his accuser attempted to broker a multi-million-dollar settlement and turned to aggressive legal maneuvering only after being rebuffed. So according to TMZ, which obtained the docs filed by Perry's legal team, the director maintains that he has no intention of settling. The filings respond to a motion from Mario Rodriguez, who reportedly asked the court to sanction Perry for failing to appear at a deposition. Rodriguez had indicated that he intended to question Perry about whether he's attracted to men. Perry's team dismissed the framing entirely, arguing that he had already agreed to sit for a deposition and rejecting the suggestion that he would be uncomfortable answering such questions. Per TMZ's reporting, Perry accused Rodriguez of holding a, quote, backwards belief that he should be ashamed of his sexual orientation, insisting he is not. He further argued that the line of questioning is irrelevant to the case, characterizing the underlying logic as, quote, bigoted stereotype that assumes a man attracted to men is more likely to have assaulted another man. Perry's central claim in the filings is that Rodriguez's court activity amounts to pressure tactics. He alleges that after he declined a multi-million-dollar settlement proposal, also there was a settlement offered? Okay. So he alleges that after he declined this is why it's important to use actual names. He alleges that after he declined a multi-million-dollar settlement proposal, so that was Mario Rodriguez's team, asking for a settlement, and Tyler declined it. Rodriguez responded by filing the deposition in an effort to damage his reputation and force his hand. In turn, Perry is asking the court to sanction Rodriguez $7,300 for what he describes as an abuse of the discovery process. The dispute stems from a $77 million lawsuit Rodriguez filed against Perry alleging sexual assault. TMZ reported that Rodriguez claims that the two met at a gym in 2015 and that Perry later cast him in a film before. He alleges assaulting him at his home on more than one occasion. Perry has consistently denied all allegations. His legal team has previously argued that Rodriguez maintained contact with him for years afterward, contending that the accusations surfaced only after Perry stopped providing him with financial support. This is interesting because I know you're probably confused, like, wait, there are multiple lawsuits that Tyler Perry's facing. Because remember, there's Drew Dixon that's suing him for like in the upwards of like $200 and something million. And Drew was on Tyler Perry's multiple shows, but he was on the Oval more consistently. So he's also suing Tyler Perry, accusing Tyler Perry of very similar things. His lawsuit was filed before Mario Rodriguez. Mario Rodriguez was in the Madea Halloween movie as frat boy number 72. I don't know. But he had like a very small role in that movie. Not to say that none of this happened. What I'm saying is that the level of interaction was a little bit different in regards to what Drew Dixon is claiming in his lawsuit. And if you missed it, I went through Drew Dixon's lawsuit. You can hear it on the podcast. I believe you can find it here on YouTube as well. I went through Drew Dixon's lawsuit and the text messages, which already shares that Tyler Perry may be on a part of the Liga Bigga Ticket crew, a part of the LGBT community, because he was being very obviously flirtatious with Drew Dixon in those text messages. if those are real. I just have to say that because I don't know if Discovery is confirmed whether or not those have been authenticated and real, but they were included in Drew Dixon's lawsuit against Tyler Perry. The lawsuit that we're talking about here is Mario Rodriguez. And you may have seen Mario Rodriguez on social media. He's like a social media influencer. He even posted a video. We've covered this multiple times. You can check out some of the previous videos. Just check our channel and just put Mario Rodriguez or Tyler Perry. Those stories should come up. So Tyler Perry is clapping back legally, saying that his sexual orientation has nothing to do with what Mario Rodriguez is accusing him of. I would agree with that, but Tyler Perry also has not been very open about his sexual orientation before. And has that been an influence in regards to some of what he's facing right now? Because he's been closeted, allegedly. All right. Derek Dixon. Sorry about that. Not Drew Dixon. I don't know why I was thinking Drew Dixon. Derek Dixon. Thank you, Shanika. Derek Dixon's the one, the previous lawsuit that I was just referring to. Derek Dixon. All right, thank you, Shanika, for that. So, I don't know. This is going to be interesting. According to Tyler and his legal team, they are going to continue to fight this. They're not going to settle this lawsuit. I've seen what some of you have said. You know, if Tyler harassed you the first time, why would you go back? We've talked about this endlessly when it comes to why people end up going back, especially when there's someone in a power position, especially if you are trying to make it in Hollywood. So I'm not surprised that these people go back. We saw Derek Dixon say the same thing in his lawsuit, that he did go back multiple times despite Tyler's advances and turning down Tyler's advances as well. I don't know if there's any update in regards to Derek Dixon's lawsuit. If there is, I will keep you guys posted. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Your notifications are on. But this is an interesting update. They're saying the media mogul is seeking sanctions against Mario Rodriguez and pushing back against any questions about his sexuality. All right. All right. Moving on from there. Let me just see what else I want to talk about. Okay. Before we get to, I know you're all here to talk about the Shamea and the Porsha of it all. I still have more to talk about, y'all. We've been live for an hour and 36 minutes. When I was planning Tuesday Takeover yesterday, I was like, I don't know if I have enough stories. And then the stories keep coming. The stories keep coming. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to like today's video. If you're listening to this on the podcast, be sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. That's very, very important. And be sure to subscribe here on YouTube. And shout out to those of you watching on Twitch and on Twitter and on Facebook, the KEMPIRE on Facebook and KEMPIRE Daily on Facebook. And don't forget to follow us on Patreon. We have a lot of really great content that we've been posting on Patreon that you're not going to find anywhere else. We've been going live there. We went live there last night when we had the breaking news about this Porsha and Shamea of it all. We will get to that in just a second. Risa says, I'm enjoying the show. Thank you, Risa. I appreciate that. All right. Let me say thank you. Dana, thank you so much for the super chat. Dana says, hi, Kemp. Missed the part of the live. In my opinion, this is season 9. No, you didn't miss anything, Dana. In my opinion, this is season 9 Porsha all over again, just lying and making baseless accusations. Shamea even forgiving her after that makes it harder to feel sorry for her. We're going to talk about it, Dana. We're going to definitely talk about it. But thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate the support. All right. Let me talk about... This would be a perfect segue to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. So, you know, we support our sisters in podcasts over there at Humble Brag with Crystal and Cynthia. So Cynthia, you may recall, confirmed that someone announced at the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion that they were pregnant. So I want to play you a couple of clips from the podcast. I'm going to play this under fair use. But there's also a mention, Crystal Minkoff, who was on the season with Annemarie Wiley. As you know, we've reported last week about Annemarie Wiley, what she accused Marcellus Wiley in the divorce of physical abuse, of graping her multiple times during their marriage. And he then came out with his own statement accusing her of voodoo. Yeah, I'm not going to even read you that statement. Okay, but he does deny the allegations that she has brought against him in this divorce and got him arrested for over July 4th weekend. So a lot of people wanted to hear what Crystal had to say. But before we get to that portion of the podcast, we're going to play what Cynthia had to say about what was announced at the reunion.
Heard?
Yeah. That's the rumor, that there's someone on your cast that is pregnant. And then people are saying it's Pinky. But then I'm thinking Shamea was the one with the storyline.
True.
And it's not you. So
I can confirm that I'm not pregnant for sure.
is there someone pregnant? That's question 1. And 2, who is it?
Okay, so part 1, someone announced at the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion that they were pregnant.
Okay.
And you know what we're always going to do is cite our sources first. Claudia Jordan was the first person to report this. And then everyone was like, Claudia, you're as a woman, why are you doing this? I got to tell you both.
Part 2. I don't think I can say for sure who it is.
Can you say which couch?
Okay. Okay, I can confirm that it wasn't on my couch, and that's all I'm saying. Next.
No, that was a good one. That was excellent. Look at you drinking your water. Excellent. Very
I
healthy.
am. I'm trying to stay hydrated.
Okay, so not on your couch.
And the seating chart is available. So
Okay.
you guys figure it out.
When does that come out? Soon.
Sidebar, the people that are on that side of the couch, on the other side of the couch that Cynthia's not on, is K. Michelle, Kelly, Shamea, and who was next to Shamea? Who was next to Shamea? Hold on, I got the seating chart somewhere. Who was next to Shamea? I don't remember. It wasn't Phaedra. Phaedra was on the other side. Where was it? I don't remember where it was. Lord. Do y'all remember who was on the other side? Look, Disa Voice says Cynthia the Elder mistalk a lot. Ooh. OMG. Oh, it's Pinky. I could have. Damn, Pinky. No offense, Pinky. It's not that I don't feel like you brought anything to the season. I was like, wait, who was there? So it was K. Michelle. It was Kelly. Then it was Shamea. And then it was Pinky. Those were the ones sitting on the side. And that's why people thought that maybe it was Pinky, especially the way that Pinky was dressed during Watch What Happens Live that week. But no one has come out and confirmed any of that, okay? All right, so back to what they were saying on the podcast.
Right?
The reunion?
Yeah.
In a couple, probably in about 3 weeks.
Okay.
I feel like we still have about 3. We're still in Scotland in
Yes.
Housewife of Atlanta World. And it's a big episode. It's the episode where Shamea and Porsha go back and forth. And this is the thing about the moms and stuff where it just gets really dark and tricky.
Oh, I don't like that. Leave them out.
You don't like it. Imagine me sitting there watching it all unfold. It was bad.
I hate stuff like that. I mean, I have seen clips of Shamea out there on a lot of different podcasts. Lots to say.
Yeah.
Lots to say. Well, we're going to, I know you're like, I can see you're fluffing your hair. You're not looking at me. So we're just going to move on.
Let's do that.
Something that doesn't seem rumory that I just feel like we must address because I felt very 1 degree of separation is what has happened, and trigger warning because it's discussion about assault and domestic violence. But this is about, I know you're going to, you know what I'm talking about, is Annemarie Wiley and Marcellus Wiley.
Yeah, I just saw that like a couple of days ago.
Yeah. So if you guys have
completely caught me off. I was like, very surprised.
Yeah. If you guys have not read, he was arrested on a family kind of vacation, the hotel. This is just.
He was arrested during a basketball retreat that they were having in Florida. So there were a bunch of kids, other people's kids that were there too. And apparently their 7-year-old daughter was in the room allegedly when he was poking Annemarie in her face.
Based on the report. And the kids were in the room. She had called to have him arrested and that he was threatening her. And so over the course of 3 days, more was revealed to culminate until today, in which she has now filed for divorce. but there's been a lot of SA. You guys know what that means? I don't want to say the word, like accusations, and on top of, I mean, like for me, it's a very hard thing to read because on top, just it's hard to read for anyone to go through that. Obviously she and I had very tumultuous experience together. But I will say at my last reunion, in which it was her first season and only season, I had made sure to request that he was not allowed to be there because
really?
Boom. I was shocked by that. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
What?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. I called production and I made sure. I was going to insist, but he apparently was not, they already asked him not to come to be,
And what was your reason for that?
I've always felt very uncomfortable. He's gone online and it has very much made, accusations about me and Garcelle, lied about us. Garcelle and I were feeling very uncomfortable. It was very, it got like we had a lot of people involved, like the production network. So they were very helpful with us, very protective. And they said, don't worry, but they made it a blanket, like no husbands allowed, no partners allowed.
Okay.
To make it not focused.
It makes me wonder if that was also part of the reason. Yes, I know Annemarie didn't have the best first season, but I wonder if that also helped their motivation for not bringing Annemarie back to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
But I was like, I can't come if he's here.
Right,
so
right. No, you definitely want to be in a safe space.
Correct.
For sure.
And because obviously we were heading into a reunion in which she and I were going to be combative. So all that to say is these are accusations on this side, but I can personally say that I have always been uncomfortable. But I feel very sad for the children.
Of course.
Very, very sad. It's so public. It's absolutely everywhere.
They have like what, 3 kids?
I believe so, 3 or 4. I think he has other kids as well, like an adult kid.
Okay, but I feel like they have some young kids.
Oh yeah, they're
kids,
all
right?
younger than my kids. They're young. Wow. They're all in elementary school. I think same age as Zoe, maybe, but younger, really little. So
I feel bad. I really do feel bad for Annemarie, especially what she described in their divorce in regards to what she's been dealing with over the years with Marcellus Wiley. And again, Marcellus Wiley has been accused of rape by other women recently in regards to like things that have happened years ago. So I'm not surprised that in their divorce that she's accusing him of similar behavior. Okay, sad, but people wanted to hear what Crystal had to say because she had such a tumultuous time with Annemarie on the show. I don't know what people expected Crystal to say in regards to it. Obviously, she's not going to dog Annemarie out for this, but I do appreciate it because no one knew that she had requested that he not be Marcellus Wiley be at the reunion. Lord. All right. Since we're talking about Real Housewives and Real Housewives of Atlanta, you guys have been waiting. You've been waiting for us to talk about the breaking story that happened overnight. I went live on my Patreon, though. Right, Patreon? We talked about it all last night. So Porsha, who's on vacation with Sway in the Bahamas, took to her ex account to reveal some tea. She is pissed at Shamea and what played out in this week's episode. Sidebar, you already saw the episode, but I think what Porsha is reacting to, despite her already seeing the episode weeks ago, I think she's reacting to social media's reaction. I don't think she was prepared that people would be talking about Miss Diane and apparently her daughter as well. I don't know what you guys are saying about Pilar, but Pilar's an innocent child. Leave her alone. And if you have intrusive thoughts that are inappropriate, keep them in here, okay? And don't say them out on social media. So this is what Porsha had to say on social media when it comes to this. Wait, that was, hold on, here it is. This is what Porsha had to say on social media yesterday evening. And I literally saw it when she posted it. I'm not blocked on Twitter. Don't block me, Porsha. So Porsha says this on Twitter. Wait, just catching up here in the Bahamas. Yo, I can't believe there are actually people talking about my mother, she puts in caps, mother, and mentioning my daughter in a negative way. Was this really worth it? Shamea took this way too far. You're not innocent while you've got people discussing my mom because of a lie you told on this show. If we're going to discuss it, keep it between us. Now let's discuss you, she puts in caps. Sleeping with your manager, and in parentheses she says, who's married to one of your high school friends, as well as a pastor in Decatur who's 100% on your roster. She said roster, y'all. Along with many more. She says many more. What? So Porsha decided to go on her social media and expose Shamea. Shamea has not said anything since. I checked her Instagram. I don't know if she said anything. If I miss anything, y'all report now. But Porsha is accusing Shamea of sleeping with her manager, who's also married to one of her high school friends. Porsha doesn't put any dates on it. She doesn't say this happened before Gerald, after Gerald. I don't know. But she's definitely using present tense when it comes to a roster. She didn't say your past roster. She said your roster, along with many more. I'm not going to hold y'all, but part of me did think to myself when Angela started coming after Shamea, after Porsha said this on social media, so I was like, wait, so Angela never revealed where she got her information from about Shamea sleeping with the Hawks and the Falcon players. And she said it wasn't Charles Oakley that told her. And I was like, wait, was it Porsha? So were the people right that Porsha has been putting the battery in your back? I don't know. But I did see that Angela says she's not completely vindicated just yet. Angela says, it's still too early, friend. Laughing face emojis. I have a few more episodes before I feel, quote, believed. Heart emoji. She says, at least we can bury I messed up their friendship. I don't know. Some people still saying it though, Angela. I don't know if I believe that. I don't believe that. Because at the end of the day, I believe they have built a friendship on very shaky ground. All right? So Angela continues. She says, these feelings existed way before me. I know this because, quote, people told me. Porsha? The people, Porsha? Angela? OMG. So Angela says that more information is going to come out during the season, basically. I'm going to summarize this. More information is going to come out where she will feel believed. I mean, after I posted about what Porsha said, a lot of people were asking me, KEMPIRE, does this vindicate Angela? I said, well, I don't know if it vindicates Angela because, again, we can't sit here and act like Porsha is the pinnacle of truth either. But Shamea is very quiet. Wait, where the crickets at? Hold on. Where the crickets at? Where my cricket? Look, where are my crickets? I know I got crickets in here somewhere. See, I moved things around and I can't find things anymore. Well, call the police. Someone took my crickets. But anyway, Shamea's been very quiet. And I told you she was very quiet after the reunion, despite people coming out and saying, you know, their own thing. You know, the reunion went really well, blah, blah, blah. Phaedra said that Shamea probably had the most receipts at the reunion, but she also said that Shamea probably is the one that cried the most. I saved this comment. Tier 6510 said, let's be clear. If Porsha and her mom are so evil, why does Shamea want to be in their life so desperately? The mom wanted your dad and Porsha is an evil friend, but yet you're crying about friendship. That's a valid question, but that could also be the pick me toxicity of it all and her being on the show and seeing Porsha forgive other people and not forgive her the same. Remember, she literally said that in this week's episode. So, but I have to agree, like, why would you want to be friends with a person like this or a family like this or want them to come over your home? Okay. London Janae says, no, this doesn't vindicate Angela. But Angela says there's more to come. There's more to come. I will wait because I'm not going to say that Angela's been vindicated. I will say that Angela still came across corny for how much attention she's given Shamea in these last couple of episodes. But I will wait. I will wait to see how the rest of the season will play out when it comes to this Angela and Shamea of it all. Okay. Ooh, Live Well says, listen, y'all, please don't be naive. No marriage survives RHOA. Ooh. Well, Nene and Greg, I know they got divorced at some particular point, but they survived. All right, Carlissa says, preach. I'm confused if she's such a bad friend or want to be around her. All right. Coco says, is it me or Kemp's sound is low? It's you, because my sound is all the way up. Look, it's all the way up, okay? As Fat Joe would say. It might be you. I do have the air conditioning on so I don't pass out during this hot summer day, but it might be you. Clock out and come back on in, Coco. Clock out and come back on in. All right. The Nin says, I don't know how to pronounce your name. The Ninth. There we go. Now I can see it. The Ninth says, everyone just stay off of social media. Okay. All right. Risa says, sounds good on my end as well. All right. It might just be Twitch. Sign out and come back on in. All right. Sign out and then come back on in. All right. And for those that where you are having an issue, check your devices, because for the most part, it's good on my end. It's good on a lot of other people's end. Check your own devices. Sometimes, especially with YouTube, you have to sign out of the app and then come back on in. Just an FYI. And it's also Mercury's retrograde. All right. But back to this. So when it comes to the situation with Porsha revealing this information on social media last night, everyone has been reacting. I did some short form content on this. I'm going to show you again what Porsha said. She is accusing Shamea. She said, you're not innocent while you've got people discussing my mom because of a lie you told on the show. If we're going to discuss it, keep it between us. Now let's discuss you sleeping with your manager who's married to one of your high school friends as well as a pastor in Decatur. And everyone's been saying, why is a pastor always involved? Okay. Who's 100% on your roster, along with many more. What is going on? And look, I don't think Gerald's on social media, but you know who is on social media? Simon Gobadia. You know Simon was on his phone last night. Gerald, have you seen this situation my ex-wife posted on social media about your wife? Did you see it? Because he's seen it, because you know he's on social media. So Porsha's accusing Shamea of having a roster. A lot of you are calling out some of the hypocrisy when it comes to things that have been said over the years. I know Kenya, we talked about this and we did a video where Kenya talked about Shamea and Porsha's friendship and why Shamea wasn't a full-time housewife. But I'm going to remind you of an interview that Shamea did. I think it was with the Jasmine brand on why she wasn't full-time. She's told different stories on why she wasn't full-time. But this was a couple of years ago, in which she addresses why she wasn't full-time.
You're from Atlanta. You're in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. You meet all of the qualifications in order to be official with the Peach. Is it that you don't want the Peach, or has the Peach never been offered to you?
No, the Peach has been offered several seasons. Okay. And I hate to sound like that because it sounds so like, oh, you think I had a Peach or I was offered a Peach. But no, really, it really truly was. Candy can vouch, so can Porsha. The problem is when you are a Peach holder, you have to show all of your life. And that includes my husband.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And whereas he supports me being a part of Real Housewives of Atlanta, he doesn't want to be a part of it. So I have to respect that. My family.
This is sounding very different than what Shamea has said on the last episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, where she says in that scene that Porsha said, this is my thing. You act, you sing, you're a part of the Hawks. Porsha has said that's a lie. She never said that to her. I believe she did say that to her. But a couple of things can be true. We have to keep in mind, too, there were 2 seasons where Porsha was not on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And Candy was. And Candy has talked about having Shamea on the show, that she's recommended Shamea to Bravo to be on the show. And they never went with her. And this is what she's saying. her husband didn't want to film.
And my home life is my priority. And I guess for as long as he won't be a part of the show, I won't hold the peach. Okay. And that's just kind of the way it is. So I'm fortunate enough to be able to hang out and play with the girls as a friend. And I'm okay in my friend role. So when I see comments like, oh, she wants a peach so bad, I'm like, I would love to be able to showcase all aspects of my life. But I'm okay with not having a peach. I'm financially stable. I'm happy in my marriage. I'm happy in my home. And I'm happy with my role as a friend of. I still get to keep with my girls. And it's all good.
Exactly. And I think that you're just showcasing that, for you, your family, and your marriage, that sanctity is more important than being on the show.
Absolutely. And I won't dismiss the fact that the show gives you a platform like no other. But my priority is my family, and I have no regrets.
Good.
Okay.
You're from Atlanta.
I'm pausing that. Okay, so this is what she said a few years ago in an interview with the Jasmine brand, Shamea. But let me remind you what Kenya said. And look, I don't know if Kenya witnessed Porsha say this or she's retelling this because this is a conversation that she had with Shamea. So you remember we did a video talking about this when Kenya was doing her YouTube show and she had revealed that Porsha did not want Shamea on the show. And I believe that Porsha probably did not want Shamea on the show. And remember what we heard in this week's episode, Shamea said that Porsha felt that this show would ruin their friendship. Some people are saying, and look, Porsha was right. It did ruin your friendship. Well, look what Kenya had to say. Maybe it was like last year.
I never felt that Porsha was supportive of her being on Housewives. They had asked Shamea to be on Housewives as a housewife years ago. And Shamea
This is sped up, y'all.
refused to do it or could not do it. I'm not really clear about the details, but in any event, she couldn't do it. She didn't do it. She did not accept the offer to be a housewife or to interview to be a housewife. And I remember a specific conversation being filmed where Shamea brought up something. Maybe it was her wedding. Maybe it was Porsha not being supportive of her. But I remember Porsha saying something to the effect of, why are you doing this? Why are you over here? Why are you doing this? Do you need the money that bad? And I think Shamea was like shocked, like, what, where's she going with this? And the gist of the conversation was, can't you just let me have this and you go over and do what you need to do? But this is my platform. You need to go and either be my support system or go away. That was the gist of the conversation. Now, I've been on that show, was on that show.
So this was a few years ago when she's talking about probably around Shamea's wedding. You remember there was a lot of tumultuous times in their friendship, Shamea and Porsha's friendship. So apparently what Kenya's saying here is that this is what she witnessed.
Still am still employed, not on the show currently, but for 12 years. I've seen and heard a lot. I've never lied to anybody. Never. Y'all know that. I just remember thinking, is that a friendship?
No.
Or a relationship of convenience?
Ooh.
Because a friendship, you cheer your friends on no matter what. And I just remember this saying that Oprah said before, like, if you have a friend that even shows you a hint of them not wanting you to succeed or climb the rung in a ladder, they are not your friend. I strongly believe that. If I don't have a girlfriend that's on the sidelines and be like, go girl, you better do that. What can I do for you? I'm going to call the producers. I'm going to call the network. I'm going to do everything I can. I need you by my side. I've done that before for a friend of mine. To the point where I'm putting my own job in jeopardy because I'm like, y'all should look at this girl. She is dynamic. She's beautiful. She is a housewife. She is the one you're looking for. And you're overlooking her. And going so far out of my way, people were like, what is going on? What is the situation with you and this friend? Because she was somebody I truly cared about. She's my friend. And I believe she would be good in that role. However, that's not what I see with Shamea and Porsha. What I see is jealousy. What I see is somebody putting their foot on somebody's neck and saying, you stay down there. I want to be the queen of this. You go find your own thing, which is basically what she said. I mean, I think we already know what that is. It's not a friend. Anyways, no friend.
Okay. Westchester Latina Hey Girl says that friendship was shaky before the show and an undercurrent of envy. I agree. And like I said before, I do believe that Porsha actually did say this. And like I said before, Porsha is not the pinnacle of truth either. She's not. I have more to say about this, but before we do, I want to say thank you to our friends over at MyFitnessPal for sponsoring today's live Tuesday takeover. And another quick MyFitnessPal moment. This really changed how I eat. And I don't think it's a feature that enough people utilize. Most of us look at our day as one whole big number. Like, oh, I've hit my calories for the day. But MyFitnessPal Premium breaks it down meal by meal. Because sometimes when I look at my breakfast and I break it down, I've had way more carbs than I did protein or fiber. And this is something I've discussed with my nutritionist as we were going through MyFitnessPal app together. Well, you see, at breakfast, you had way more carbs than you did protein. And based on my body and what I need, especially as someone that does Pilates, that's working out, that walks a lot, I'm definitely going to need more protein, more fiber. But now that I can see it in MyFitnessPal broken down this way, I know what I need to change. Oh, at breakfast, I didn't have enough protein. I didn't have enough fiber. I didn't have enough carbs, depending on your diet. That's the one thing that nobody tells you. It's not only the total that matters, it's how it's broken down. And MyFitnessPal Premium makes that super easy. And as I keep telling you, your nutrition is the foundation of everything. Your sleep, your energy, and your recovery. So seeing it meal by meal made it real for me. Now you can make it real for yourself as well. And of course, with a discount. Go to podcast.myfitnesspal.com and use code KEMPIRE, all uppercase, for 15% off premium. More information on MyFitnessPal will be available in the description. Thanks, MyFitnessPal. And we're back. Welcome back to Tuesday Takeover. And shout out to our friends over at MyFitnessPal. I love seeing this. Duchess Door says, Kemp, I started using MyFitnessPal because of you. It helped me so much over the last few weeks with my new dietary changes. I love that. And if you guys saw any benefits to some of the sponsors that we've had here on the channel, please let me know so that we could talk about it. So thank you so much, Duchess, for sharing your story. Oh, that reminds me. I forgot to put in my breakfast and my lunch today. So I need to make sure I do that. Tier, thank you so much for the super chat. Tier says, it's so hypocritical when people call Porsha a liar, but don't recognize that Shamea lies just as much. Porsha should show receipts, but Shamea doesn't. I believe that and this is why I feel like people that are team Porsha or team Shamea, you really can't be team anyone because we are watching an edited version of the truth. And there's so much more when it comes to between Miss Diane and Mama Morton that we have no idea about. We still don't even know whether or not what Porsha said is true when it comes to Mama Morton sleeping with one of the brothers. Shamea was like, which one? Well, damn. Not which one. Shamea, before the episode yesterday, posted a picture of the outfit that she wore that night in Scotland and captioned it, "Some journeys change your passport, others change your perspective. Scotland," and she adds Bravo TV and Peacock. Look, Lord, but she's been quiet in regards to what Porsha has to say. Doesn't mean that she will not respond. Do you think that Shamea should respond to this? Because that's the thing. These are two best friends that know a lot about each other. But Shamea has a lot more to lose because Porsha's out there single as can be. Shamea is married. The life that she has, she's got children, maybe one on the way. We don't know because someone's pregnant. Maybe one on the way. I don't know. Unless what Porsha's bringing up is her past, because everyone has a past. Okay? So I want to know how this is going to play out, because I don't feel like Shamea should get into the dirt or the mud with this situation and do a back and forth, especially if she's decided whether or not she's not going to come back next season. And I know some people have said she shouldn't come back. Some people say she should come back. I don't think she should come back. And I said that from last season. And look how dark it's already gotten. Even Andy Cohen recently posted on social media that this past week's episode gets dark. And I was like, yeah, it really does get dark. And this is part of the reason why you saw at the last reunion and the last episode that Shamea and Porsha did not want to talk about the mother's issues. But there's more. OMG, there's more that I wanted to share with you guys. Shout out to RHOA Receipts on X, because you know what we do here. We cite our sources. So they posted, remember the, what was it? Porsha's Instagram story where she brings up, your mother did something egregious to me. Well, that stemmed from what was said in the episode of last season. I'm going to play for you the episode, but let me just show you. Is this it? Hold on, y'all. I just want to make sure I have everything. No, that was that. Oh, here it goes. Porsha's IG story. So Porsha said this, and this is, they get the episode before we do. So this was last season when Porsha posted on her Instagram story. I'm going to just say this. I'm watching the new episode, and she at Shamea Morton. Now, don't take it there. Don't imply ish about Diane Williams. I've been keeping it cute/quiet, and you can do and say what you want about me, I believe she meant. But hear me when I say wrong road. Talking about, well, your mom thought my mom was a friend, knowing goddamn well, she says, what she did to my mom was highly egregious. Don't do it. Keep playing victim and that BS. Don't F with my mom. And this is during the reunion of last season. Porsha revealed that it had to do with the daycare. You saw in this week's episode, they bring up the daycare. She was like, well, you brought up the daycare. And she was like, well, everyone knew about the daycare. I told you yesterday that no, we did not know about the daycare until it was brought up on this show. There were people speculating that it had to do with the daycare, but we didn't know. We didn't know for sure. How would we know? So Spain and France is playing right now. I'm gonna get to it in a second. We're about to end the live, but I wanted to play this for you. So Porsha had posted this, as you can see, and in the caption says, you said it on TV, new episode 11 from last season, season 16. Now I'm saying it in public. Just stop. Fair warning. And then she at Shamea Morton. Okay. So this is the scene they're talking about. Right. We're going to play this under fair use. Okay. I'm going to stop and go. Shout out to RHOA receipts on X.
Right? There are other components. Like she shared with me that even my mom don't really know.
So this was Shamea talking to Cynthia last season.
How to accept you because of the history with our parents. So I just feel like it's hard to be your friend because she's always like, be careful around her and, you can't trust her and the apple don't fall from the tree. And I'm like, that's hurtful shit to say. I talked to...
So they flash back to 2 months ago where Miss Diane says, be careful of the dog that carries the bone.
And she was like, the girls were just talking about me the whole time.
I know you don't want to hear it. You and Shamea have been friends since y'all was in high school, but you got to watch the dog that brings the bone.
I was in what?
What about the lady eating the pizza on the white couch? Just asking.
Elementary, middle school, when I got introduced to Auntie Diane. Mom and Diane were like 2 peas in a pod. Or at least my mom considered her mom to be her best friend. Our parents have had their ups and downs in our friendship, but it doesn't have anything to do with Porsha and I. Why did it? Yeah, I don't want to know that.
Yeah, so she didn't want to in the confessional, but Porsha did not like the fact that she even mentioned her mom in this episode, saying that, my mom thought that Miss Diane was a friend.
You guys will get to some place of resolve. But I'm glad I've got a one-on-one with you.
Me too.
I hate that it's under these circumstances.
I feel a little bit lighter.
Yeah, well, you should. I know, every friendship has its internal issues. But you guys genuinely seem so freaking happy when you are together.
Absolutely. She brings me so much joy.
I know.
When I tell you I will laugh until I pee my pants, we will laugh at each other. We joke.
She's the yin to your yang.
See, that's the part I don't understand why people forget that last part where she says lovely things about Porsha. She really does value Porsha as a friend. I don't know why, but but she really does value Porsha as a friend. Or did. I mean, at this particular point, that friendship is over. I don't know. Angela says, sounds like Miss Diane started it. Remember when we recapped it last season, we were like, oh, that wasn't very nice of her to say about Shamea. But we can't say that when Shamea recorded her confessional that she even saw what Miss Diane said about her. But she did say in this clip that Miss Diane does say things about her. So I'm assuming these are things that were said before, other than what production is showing us in the moment. What Shamea is referring to is not that. She's referring to other moments, I'm guessing, that Miss Diane has said things about her. Look, this situation is so sticky. Oh, wait, not my private merch coming up. This situation is so sticky when it comes to Porsha and Shamea. Again, I don't think we can be team any of them because we really do not know the full story. If we knew the full story and we were in the middle of it, fine. I can't be Team Shamea. I can't be Team Porsha because I don't feel like we have the full facts. But do you want to next season see a sit down between Miss Diane and Mrs. Morton? I don't know. I really don't think that Shamea should come back. But I do believe Shamea wants to be on this show. But now, Shamea, you see what this has turned into? I can only imagine what's going on over there at Sterling Hall in regards to Gerald finding out any of this information. Do you think this is going to affect her marriage? I feel like inevitably it's going to, because what is Porsha talking about? Is she talking about the past? Because if she's talking about the past, who cares? Everyone has a past. But if you're talking about this happened during her marriage, and wouldn't you as a husband or a partner or wife want to know that the manager that's managing your career right now is someone that you slept with? Allegedly, because I don't know. I know she sent a cease and desist to Angela. She might want to send one to her former best friend, Porsha Williams. But would you feel comfortable if your partner, your husband, your wife was working with someone they slept with or had an affair with? I'm asking. I wouldn't feel comfortable, especially regarding the circumstances. And does your high school friend even know this? But again, this is assuming that it's even true. I don't know if it's true because, as I've said before, Porsha is not the pinnacle of truth. I don't know. But my thing is, should she stay quiet on this? Because I think people are going to assume, because of the fact that Shamea hasn't said anything, that it's the truth. I don't know. Mary Jane's baby says, I'm team me. I'm team me too. I don't know these people. And we're watching an edited show. But all right. Well, we're going to continue to follow this story. I appreciate you all being here for our Tuesday takeover. Don't forget, you can hear more on the KEMPIRE podcast. Subscribe today. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Shout out to everyone that sent in Super Chats, Venmos, Cash Apps. We appreciate you. Noda Queen, thank you for the Super Chat. Noda Queen says, even if Porsha said that, I don't blame her. She has every right to want this for herself. It'd be weird if Porsha was pressed to work for the Hawks. I believe Porsha said she wanted this for herself, this show for herself. I believe that she definitely said that. But Porsha, on this last episode, denies it. She says that it's a lie. I do believe she did say it. Anyone else? Miss Parker, thank you so much for the Super Chat and for being a member and a King's Guard. We appreciate you. Miss Parker says, Exhibit A. Not Exhibit A. Porsha's family of lies. She was about to take her daughter's grandma out with a boom mic. The next day, she instructed everyone to be silent. Yeah, we remember. We recapped it. You can find it here on the channel. We recap Porsha's family of lies. That's not what it's called. That's what we've been calling it since the beginning. And then you wonder why you're blocked. Who said that? Miss Parker continues, says, act like nothing happened. Hashtag narrative spinner. Point made, Miss Parker. Point made. Yup. Everybody was real quiet. Production was confused on Porsha's family of lies. Like, why is no one talking about what happened yesterday? Tiara, thank you so much for the super chat. Tiara says, recovering Porsha. Not recovering, Porsha stan here. P has been documented lying for years. Shamea hasn't been around long enough to surpass Porsha's lie count. Damn. Porsha is the boy who cried wolf at this point. Well, then, Tiara, are you saying that Shamea should come out and discount these lies? I do believe they know each other's secrets. And I told you before, it would take a lot for me to divulge secrets from people that were former friends. Because I do have some former friends and I know some secrets that could ruin their lives. Wait, it could. But I have no inkling to do that unless they were to come out and say something about me. You know what I mean? And there have been people that have said things about me that had no grounds of or an inkling of truth to other people other people that I know, people in the industry, straight up lying on my name. And there's a lot of things that I could say to ruin said people. And I didn't do it. Look. And I didn't do it. But tread lightly. Okay. Tier, thank you so much for the super chat. Tier says, I'm glad Porsha broke the curse. PJ and Shia are done. Well, damn. I mean, yeah, because why? Why continue this toxic generational destiny swapping that we see with this show in these women? Miss Mellon Magic, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Miss Mellon says, Porsha lies a lot, but Shamea definitely cheats on Groot. Oh my God. I don't know that for a fact. I don't know, but we shall see. We shall see. Guys, don't forget the KEMPIRE After Dark live show returns to New York City September 25th at the Green 42. There's a live stream option. There's meet and greet tickets available. Head on over to the description. Get your tickets today. I will see you all at the end of the summer. I know it feels far away, but it's about to be August. Can you believe that in 2 weeks, it will be August? Go get your tickets today. All right? Don't forget, we are still raising money for the LGBT Center here in New York City. All right? Shout out to those of you that have donated, but apparently I have to shame y'all to donate some more. We have not reached our goal of $10,000. I am not ending this fundraiser till we reach our goal of $10,000. 100% of your donation goes to the organization. Donate today. I will see you all in the next one. Okay? I will see you all in the next one. Thank you to everyone that sent in super chats, Venmos, Cash Apps, liked the video, that participated in the live chat. Shout out to our King's Guards for holding us down. Shout out to our channel members. I will probably go live and talk more about this, especially if there's any more breaking news when it comes to this Porsha and Shamea of it all, on my Patreon. Go follow me on Patreon and go check out all of what you've already been missing. I've already gone live multiple times on Patreon. So be sure to check that out on my Patreon. There's a link available in the description or in the live chat. All right. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone. And shout out to all of our sponsors.
Here we go now.